Are we live? Do it live. Are we live? Are we live? Hello, viewer. Hello, viewer. It is Sunday, April 6, 2025. I am Mr. Brune, and I trust you're all doing very well today. On this evening's live stream, well, you know what, discussing news in entertainment, social media, all that malarkey. It's been a week where shite happened. In fact, busy in Hollywood this week, and bad stuff in real life. Tariffs. Ugh. So, as I always say, if you're not shut down for the evening, lots to get through. Shall we get those guests out? Dribbling. Okay, let's do this. First, the channel's very own astromech droid. It is. Oh, sorry, boomerang. Professor R2. Hello.
Hello.
You all right?
I'm doing well, thanks. Glad to be here.
It's great to have you on, mate.
Yep. Let's bring some more people out.
Yes, let's do it. Okay. It's your buddy. Should we bring him out?
Why, yes.
Clue
I like
everybody.
my buddy.
Headley Lesland.
Hey, what's up?
High price. You all right?
Hello.
Hello. You all right?
I'm good. Yeah. Let's bring out the next person.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
Price, great to have you, mate. Shall we get these people
Great
on?
to be here. Yeah.
Okay, here you go, folks. Yet another. God, there's so many Americans. It is Mr. Boss.
Hello, good evening, lady and gentlemen.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Hope everyone's the same.
Not bad. It's great to have you on. Shall we get the next peep on?
Oh yeah, big surprise.
Okay, hopefully he's back, but I'll give you a clue, everybody. It's a toughie, by the way. Anybody?
It's shit.
Is it cheese and onion?
We're still muted. This is going to go very well,
What?
folks.
It's shit.
Ryan. We'll just
Hello,
wait for him.
sorry.
You all right?
Yeah. I'm
You
fine.
sure? Yeah.
Yeah.
You munching tonight?
I am actually.
What are you munching? Look, here you go. They're coming in. How dare you.
Doritos.
Knowing you go for the very, very
Doritos.
boring, cool flavour.
No. Actually, this Doritos is one of those cheap ones. It's a Tesco's version. But it's still nice.
Cheap
Yeah.
bastard.
Still nice though.
Okay, it's great to have you on, mate.
That's all right. Good to
there
be
is
on.
There is another.
There is another.
Okay.
Dun dun
Dun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun.
dun.
Listen, Swappers is going to be very pleased. All right.
I wear sunglasses at night so I can see the visions in my mind. Does anybody know who sung that song?
No.
You did.
Corey Hart.
Yeah, awesome.
Didn't he die?
Great
Corey
covers.
Hart?
Singing that
I
song.
hope not.
What, did you kill him?
No, I thought that he passed away. Maybe I'm
Oh, I
wrong.
hope not.
No,
Well,
yeah.
if that's the case, rest in peace, dude. I hope he hasn't.
No, he
He's
didn't
still
die.
around.
He's just Canadian.
Yeah, that is also
He died
a
inside.
pretty severe career handicap. Yeah.
Kung Fu
bells,
hot dog.
the bells.
Hello. Are you mad, by the way?
Yes, and I'm also
Furious.
dosed up on Lucozade. That's about 4 months old, and it's great.
Oh, is it
Tastes
flat?
Fantastic.
Is it flat?
See, free advertising, Lucozade. Now send me a whole crate load, please.
Oh man, now I got that song in my head. Oh crap. it's stuck.
How
drink
are
the
you?
day when I'm sick. That's how old I am.
Are you sick, Kung Fu?
Yeah. Are you sick?
Actually, I've got the allergies because it's hay fever time, and I
Oh,
like
no.
to be beside a beach. Not just to gaze at the peaches, but just at the beach to clear this nonsense away.
Is that
I
like
hear
the
you.
British Gatorade?
Yes, it is.
It is,
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's a good description.
But they used to, when you were young, when it was in the 70s, they used to, Lucozade was associated with you being sick. When you were sick, they used to give you.
It had
Lucozade.
medicinal purposes.
Yep.
It still does, actually, but they've taken out some of the better ingredients.
What, the sugar?
Well, besides that, yeah, I've got to be easy on the sugar as well now,
Glucose
funny enough.
Yeah, okay. Kung Fu, it is great to have you on, my friend. Fresh meat for the grinder. Shall we get on with this?
You sound like that cannibal from the IT crowd. I'm going to eat you because I'm from Germany.
Okay, let's get some.
That show, by the way.
Shall we get some? Oh, look, here you go. Look, they're coming in.
Who's that? Oh, there you go.
There's Kung Fu channel. I will put the channel links in the straight afterwards.
Honestly, guys, you're too kind.
Okay. Shall we get some slides up then, folks?
Go for
Sure.
it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Episode 269 Musings, today's date. There's Tom. Please like, share, subscribe. Good evening, chat, by the way.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I
who
want to
would-
steal a box of cereal because I can't afford to buy them.
you are watching this, aren't you, Kung Fu? This was episode what was it? 7?
7.
What's the title of episode 7?
Dog shit.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I saw the one before called Extreme Force or something like that. Oh my God. It makes you want to watch Hawkeye all over again.
Oh my God.
At least I could put up with that for its musings, and I'm a big Jeremy Renner fan anyway, so he will be the only reason. I can skip some scenes, but yeah, honestly, Hawkeye's a masterpiece compared to this. And that is saying something.
When
I'll
this
take it-
came up on the slides, Mr. Brown,
Yeah.
I really thought, wait, isn't it over? That's how much my brain can manage to care. No,
I'm glad
Reacher
I've
is
got the
over,
original
which
on
is
Blu-ray.
my brain refused to accept that it was still going on.
2 episodes to go, I do believe.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep, 2 more in their half of a season that they're calling a whole season. Yeah.
So who's watched it? Price, did you watch it?
Yes, I have. I watched it.
Thoughts? We'll blast through this quickly, this bit. But
I'm going to probably surprise some people and say that I acknowledge that this is not good like the Netflix show. There's no doubt about that. I love the Netflix show, and this isn't as good as that. And with that being said, when I watch this, it's not the best, and you can tell that it's uneven in its storytelling, and there was a lot of reshoots and weird stitching together of things here. But I don't hate everything about it. I'd say it's uneven. There's certain moments that I like better than other moments, and I still enjoy seeing these actors, doing whatever they do. So I'm not a complete hater of it. I can see that it's not as good as I wanted it to be, but it's also on a Disney Plus level. It's probably the best they can do. Not really saying much, but it's not like The Acolyte. It's just if you wanted it to be spectacular, it isn't. But it's also not the worst thing I've ever seen. So
now
that's
there's a
how I feel
program,
about it.
The Acolyte. Prof, you watching?
Yeah, still watching this. I'm kind of in
is
the
it
same
hate-
boat. Kind
Is
of
it
in the same.
hate?
No,
hate
it's
wa-
not hate watching. It's not hate
Okay.
watching. I'm kind of in the same boat with Price. This is not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not that good either. For every little bit that I enjoy, there's another part that just drags on forever, and I'm just like, why? I don't know. Yeah, then there's really really difficult to watch fights and all sorts of stuff. I don't know. It's not awful, but
It's not good either.
I don't want to accept just not awful, right? I want these things to be good, and it's just not. It's not. So yeah. This episode's week was called "Art for Art's Sake." I think maybe this is just.
Oh, the 10cc song. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is just sort of encapsulating the whole thing. It's just Daredevil for Daredevil's sake, I guess. I don't know. It is what it is. We'll see if they give us anything better for the last couple episodes, but
It had
don't know.
potential to be so much more, and the actors are here and they're game, and there's some moments that something happens that you think, oh, there was potential here, but yeah, it's disappointing if you're expecting really the wonderful Daredevil that we used to have.
Yeah, I've been rewatching the original Netflix show, and it's
Awesome.
just
Yeah.
so well done.
I've got them on Blu-ray. and I've also got Luke Cage and the first, not Defenders, the Iron Fist. I know it's a Shatterpon show, but I thought it's a Blu-ray purchase. It's legitimate. I'm buying it. So, and that's the reason why I subscribed to Netflix in the very first place, because I thought, oh, Daredevil, and loved the first season. Second season dropped. I spent all day and into midnight with a pizza break in between, complete all 13 episodes.
Damn.
That's how involved I was with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, season 3 of Daredevil, I felt bounced back, meaning I think that season 1 was fantastic. Season 2 was pretty good, I guess, with some issues. Season 3 was very good.
Hey, listen, my friend, the issues you might highlight about season 2 they probably pale into comparison with what I'm seeing now.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. I would.
That's what I
if
call
you
it.
told me that Daredevil would continue for 3 more seasons on Netflix with the level of season 2 rather than what I'm seeing now, I would sign that deal. I would totally accept it. It's just
Removing
like
Drew
I'm
Goddard was a
greedy.
big mistake.
I'm greedy because after the first one was so good, I want the others to be just as good.
Yeah.
But still, those 3 on Netflix, those that's good. That's good stuff,
Yeah, you highlight a very good point there, because we were greedy. We were spoiled for choice.
We had it
before
good.
things started going wrong. So, yeah, we could afford to be greedy.
Yeah, exactly.
And on that bombshell,
We were
Ian,
spoiled.
thoughts on the episode, and then we'll move on.
It was a waste of my time. I wouldn't be watching this if it wasn't for, Melv and you guys, doing it. I did give my thoughts on Wednesday. I just there are a lot of filling stuff in there. Like, for instance, the fat guy that sat in Kingpin's chair. Lord knows what that scene was about. They were just talking about nonsense. Daredevil in daylight is kind of like Batman in daylight. It doesn't work. He only had a couple of seconds to help his girlfriend when she was bleeding out. That didn't make any sense either. It was just not good, that's all. And also we talked about how the hitman killed that guy that was going to kill Kingpin. Kingpin was in a line of fire.
She killed Muse. The girlfriend killed Muse as well.
Yeah, I know, it was stupid. It's like they're running the same agenda.
Spoilers.
Definitely running the same agenda.
That's
A
okay.
hero
Counseling later on.
Yeah, a hero cannot save a female anymore, cannot save a woman in distress anymore. That's why she had to save herself before Daredevil smashed through the window.
God.
All this nonsense is playing into our TV shows, and quite frankly, I'm getting really tired of it. The only thing that's kind of close to really good entertainment is Reacher now. So, yeah, there you go. That's my review.
Come on, people. Reg, my GF bleeds out every morning.
I see. I knew that joke was coming up. I saw it on the horizon, and there it is.
May I, Brown?
Of course.
This is content for content's sake, not art for art's sake. And ballistic indiscretions aside, I still like Charlie Cox. He's a very good, charming actor. I was enjoying the performances of him and Vincent D'Onofrio. But at this point, Kingpin's character has been so destroyed. I'm not really enjoying it anymore.
Oh dear.
It's still watchable. But like I said, I honestly, I really thought it was over. It's like, and I didn't even think twice about it.
2 more to go, mate.
Go back. Yep.
Back on Wednesday for that.
And I'm probably think it's a little worse than the other people. It's still the best thing on Disney Plus, which is a really sad condemnation of Disney Plus. But the people don't act like people would. The dialogue is the lack of attention. They're not holding the guns right. It's just the cops don't act like cops. Cops act like what a 13-year-old TikTok brat think a cop acts like. And that's what I get when I'm watching this show. This is what like some high school kid thinks like New York is like.
But other than that, you're enjoying the series, yes?
Yeah, besides that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. It's dog shit, everybody.
Yeah, UK. I guess that one didn't translate.
No. No, we didn't. Moving on. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I haven't seen this, by the way, so
MobLand.
should I just see the room now and then come back and catch up?
We won't do spoilers,
No
will we?
spoilers.
Yeah, no
spoilers.
spoilers.
No spoilers.
Who would like to go first? Prof, new episode today. episode
Anybody
2.
else seen it? Yeah.
I haven't
No,
watched it yet. I haven't had time.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Still really good show.
No
Really
spoilers.
enjoying it. Yeah, no spoilers. Some really interesting characters, really interesting plots going on. Big reveal at the end of the episode as to what's happening, and things are really going to pop off in the next episode. So yeah, it's really good. It's very enjoyable. Some great performances. So yeah, I'm very much enjoying this so far.
Ister, you're a big fan of this, aren't you?
Yeah. Since the first episode came out last week, every single day I'm checking, even though I know it's not out.
MobLand, by the way, MobLand.
I'm hoping that we get another episode, and then this morning, the first thing I did after I watched the second episode is I went back and I wanted to rewatch the first one.
Damn.
Like, I'll give this to Daredevil. Each episode feels like it's 3 hours long. You're getting your money's worth. But this just flies by, and I can't get enough of it. And there's no way I'm going to be able to wait until all the episodes come out. I'm going to eat these up like every Sunday evening or Saturday morning, whenever I figure. It's fantastic. The performances are extraordinary. The dialogue is really good. And Tom Hardy in this second episode, it's like, and his attorney just saying O'Hara, one.
Yeah.
But like, who doesn't want to be Tom Hardy? He's so cool, man. And the performances from Brosnan, he reminds me of like Daniel Day-Lewis. Like, the guy, he must be difficult to work with on set. I don't know. I hear he's not, but he really, and Helen Mirren, she has a much more sort of sublime performance, but they're both, I have absolutely nothing bad to say about this show, except there's not enough episodes out.
Here you go, folks. Dr. Iceman wrenched. Is it Tulsa King good?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So Iceman, go watch it. It's good. You got 2 seasons to watch.
Yeah. It's first season Tulsa King good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Very
Stallone does some very good. His acting is just off the chart. He's so good.
No, he's asking if the MobLand is as good as Tulsa King, I think.
Is that what he's okay? Oh, well, gone on to that anyway.
What do we think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Extremely well written.
Yeah, first, like I said,
directed, everything's just so good.
Yeah,
I saw what you meant. By the way, quick question. As this is a Guy Ritchie series, does it have the DNA of Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels?
It's got some of it. It doesn't have sort of the comic. It's pretty
down.
intense.
It's there.
Yeah, it's more severe. It's a little darker, I think. You're not going to get the laughs that you get with Snatch. But it's very satisfying.
Here you go, folks. Tenacious Dick. It's better than Tulsa King.
Really? Wow. Okay.
That's a big statement.
Okay, that avatar is really just, that's nightmare fuel right there.
Hair is standing up on the back of my neck. Look at that.
Yeah. Just what I need. I got to see Vex's boobs this morning, and now I have to top off. She was doing a fundraiser for Jacob, so now I have to cap off the evening with Jack Black boobs.
Atom Gray Wrench will spot. Hello, Atom. Tired of mafia material.
I get it. Yeah, the gangster stuff might get a little bit old.
Oh, I love
but
it's what Guy
it's
does,
really well
isn't it?
made. Though, so.
I love stuff like that.
But this has as much of a family dynamic as it does like a crime, a mafia dynamic.
Who created it, by the way? Anybody know?
Well, if no one's taking credit, I did.
It's written, as I said, it's written by Jez Butterworth, the guy who did
Is it not Guy Ritchie?
Line of Duty, Call of Duty, whatever it is, and The Bodyguard.
Oh yeah, the Richard Madden show.
The creator of the show is Ronan Bennett.
Why did I think Guy Ritchie had something to do with this?
He's directed 2 episodes of it so far.
But he didn't create the show?
No.
Interesting.
Oh. They just used his name to sell the product. That's why I thought it was a Guy Ritchie production.
Right.
Yeah, see, the problem here when I tell everyone how good Bodyguard is, they're like, I don't really like Whitney Houston.
Bodyguard was really good.
Yeah, I thought it was phenomenal.
Apart from the ending was ridiculous. And some of the plot holes were terrible as well.
But
Other than that, it was
should have
really
been
good.
the movie
Yeah.
that should have been the film that should have convinced Barbara Broccoli Richard Madden is the next 007. I wanted him to be. With that build he had in the show, he could have been a perfect Bond, but I guess he just got overlooked.
Yeah,
Not
I
very
Could have
guess.
been a Roger
Yeah.
Moore type Bond, maybe.
I came away with a whole new level of respect for Richard Madden from that movie, and then the Eternals took it all back away.
That's right.
The Eternals did a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Okay. So, episode 2, people who have seen this, we are thoroughly recommending. It's so good. Yes.
Yes.
It's going to be a well, it's a hit, isn't it?
But Paramount, I know we're going to talk about Cinemacon later on, but Paramount, man, they are impressing the shit out of me when it comes to their content right now. Really, they are a force to be reckoned with. And I still wish they were with Marvel making superhero movies like they did in the old days before Disney came along, sniffing those bucks.
Well, they were only the distributors, weren't they? Paramount, so they helped distribute the
Yeah,
product.
but it still had a bit of they were. You're correct, but I think under them, like the first few films that came out, there was, even though they were the distributors, there was like an association with them, and then obviously Disney came along and went, "Oh no, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to do our own thing." Then the Russo brothers came in and reworked it for a while. Thank God.
Yeah.
Here you go, folks. Wrenched at Mr. Brown Lights. That's me. Kung Fu Hot Dog. That's you. Has some top class thumbnails in his videos.
All made by me.
Yeah, very good. They are.
Thank
You are
you.
You are you appreciate the female form. That's all I'm saying.
A bit too much sometimes, but unlike Jean-Claude Van Damme, it's above 18.
Ooh.
And on that bombshell, sidestep.
Yeah, Jean-Claude, poor man.
Allegedly, we'll just say.
Yes.
Paramount Plus's MobLand drew 2.2 million viewers worldwide on March 30 on the first day of release. That tops Yellowstone prequel 1923 when it debuted in late 2020.
But isn't that bad though? 2.2 million
Yeah, but
worldwide.
it's a streaming
For
service.
streaming,
though, isn't it?
that's
Is that good for streaming?
Yeah, because that's not minutes. It's sort of, you have to take each streaming network and
It's a small
context
channel
of its
as
own.
well. It's a small channel as
It's
well.
not the biggest streamer either. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah, they've got like a third of the membership of a third of the subscribers of Disney Plus, but I think this is really sort of establishing that, people are sick when you're watching a show and you see that was weird, and then you realize, oh yeah, Hollywood they won't let that happen anymore. Like the guy can't rescue the girl, so the woman's always going to rescue herself. There's stuff like that is sort of imbued all throughout those unwritten Hollywood rules, and I think people are tired of it. So when something like this comes out, where it's sort of free of ideological capture, I mean, I think people are naturally going back to sort of the quality that they remember.
Yeah, but 2.2 million though. I mean, it's not really a lot compared to, say, let's just go back a bit. Morecambe and Wise Christmas special, 23 million
that's
people
terrestrial.
watched it. I'm joking, obviously, but 23 million people. That was half of London watched that show.
Tulsa King was on. Obviously, it was on Paramount Plus, but Tulsa King went on to Channel 5 in the UK, so that might be an avenue for this eventually.
Yeah, probably.
And remember, that was just its debut day. Most of them rate number of minutes in the first week.
Yeah.
So Paramount
Yeah.
Plus has 77.5 million
They're in
subscribers.
trouble, aren't they, Paramount?
So that's not a bad percentage for sort of
They've
opening
been-
day.
They've been bought, haven't they, by
Who- by-
Skydance?
Oh, right. So, yeah.
Well, that's a shit show in itself. Like, we don't even know if that deal is going to be allowed to go through.
Yeah, it
Uh,
still hasn't been finalized.
Here you go.
Sure.
Regged, Brown would die for 2.2 million views. Hot Dog, would you die for 2.2 million views?
It's consider, in my opinion, considering it's worldwide, it's not a lot of people. But you're right. They'll probably sell it to other
Yeah.
channels and stuff, and it'll pick
Wasn't,
up. views and stuff.
Wasn't enough to get it in like the top 10 This week for the Nielsen's as far as minutes watched, whatever. But
if that had been on Netflix, it would have been a monster hit.
Likely, yeah.
Okay, shall we sidestep?
Another one. That guy's looking old, man. He's looking
The
old.
new series MobLand, starring Tom Hardy, with episodes directed by Guy Ritchie, was originally going to be a spin-off of another show. Anybody know what the show is?
Lord knows.
The Acolyte.
It was that
Gentleman?
who's that
What?
big geezer who was in the Logan film? He's got a French sounding name.
Wow.
Liev Schreiber.
I think it's him, yeah. What TV series did he did? I read the article.
I know.
Oh wait, no, Liev
yeah.
Schreiber
Ray
is in
Donovan.
Wolverine 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ray Donovan. Yeah,
Ray-
it's supposed to
Ray
be
Donovan.
connected to Ray Donovan. Yeah.
Which was a very good series. I like Liev anyway. Good
Liev
actor.
started like the Ray Donovan series. I think the first like 4 or 5 seasons were good, and then suddenly it just went off a cliff.
Woke.
Because I think
Is it
the
woke?
female creator left the show at that point. She was also responsible for Southland, really excellent police show, which was cancelled by NBC and then got picked up by TNT, who obviously had a lot of sense.
Right.
So there you go.
I'm not sure what
Move on.
happened. Not sure
And
what
on that
happened.
note,
All I know
I'll
is
see you
that Ray
later.
Donovan started strong and fell off a cliff.
Yeah, I think his name's pronounced Liv. Actually, I remember.
Yeah, it's
it.
Liv,
isn't
it? Yeah.
Liv
Just like Liv
Schreiber.
Tyler, but I know who I like to look at.
Yeah. Well, he started out sort of playing like the cuck and the beta male, and then he got super creepy role when he played a sheriff's deputy in Phantoms, and people started realizing how good he was at.
Cotton Weary in the Scream franchise.
Mhm.
Okay, that's Mobland, everybody.
Oh God, what's this?
Oh no, my name's Conor McGregor, and I come back coffee.
Do you know
Guy
what,
Ritchie
right?
is in
Oh,
talks
no.
to direct Shithouse
Roadhouse
2.
Roadhouse 1, right, was a huge success. Huge, right? Even though the
So
film
huge,
wasn't
I never
very
watched
good.
it. I just
Roadhouse,
watched the original
everybody.
instead.
Roadhouse, even though it wasn't received very well, a lot of people watched this. More than 2 million.
Because it was
Let's
on
put it that way.
Yeah, Netflix. The
Yeah.
Netflix.
It was
No,
Prime.
it was it was Prime.
It was
It
Prime.
was Amazon Prime.
Oh, was it?
And a lot of people don't know that they did visual effects when they were fighting. So every punch was a visual effect. Would you believe that?
Yeah, it shows.
I would believe that.
Yes.
Every punch was a visual effect. So
Oh.
they so it looked like he was literally making contact with their faces.
Well,
That's
all I know is another crappy 9 cover bands are going to get a chance to have a song in a movie.
Well, I've got the original
Yep.
pinned on my wall right there, so can't go wrong with that.
All of the soundtrack in the first Roadhouse were really bad covers of much better songs. That was
Well,
so-
Guy Ritchie will take anything these days, won't he? So,
Here you go. Tom Wrench.
go.
Total wank.
I watched it. I didn't think it was
What?
that
Total
bad.
wank.
I didn't think it was that good either, though.
Equal
That's the
to
thing.
Total Recall.
Total
Yeah.
wank.
Of course, they had to have the body positive bartender and
Absolutely.
and the woman that saved herself. And
Absolutely.
just, let's say all of this stuff that people, I hope people are getting sick of. I know I am, and I know Ian is.
Well, the normies don't see it, but I see it.
Oh.
Without exception, every female character in any show now, they never get rescued. If they're in trouble, they never get rescued. They always rescue themselves.
Absolutely correct.
Here you go, folks. Manuel Grell wrenched. Hello, my friend. In the original Roadhouse, Swayze and Teague beat the shit out of each other for real.
Pulls his heart
Wow.
out. Pulls his heart out, doesn't he? In the original, or something like that. Does he? Was he do it at
Oh,
ending?
it's a great movie, the original.
Yeah.
It's a guilty
This-
pleasure.
Rips his throat out.
That's it. Throat. Sorry. wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to fall back on Mr. Plinkett and say normies, they may not notice it, but their brain does. Do we have any normies in the chat that can speak to whether or not they're getting sick of this?
Subconsciously.
I saw the first Roadhouse remake thing, and it was awful. And I don't know why Guy Ritchie would ever want to be involved in anything. that has
Payday.
to do with
Pays,
sequel.
isn't it? Look, you know what, right? Hardly any films are, well, I say hardly, but hardly anything's being made without the content people, without Amazon or Netflix. That's where all the work is. I don't blame him. He's going to get a good paycheck. to direct this. So, you know, good
I
luck
mean,
to him.
he couldn't do worse than the guy that did it before him. He can only improve because the last one was
Doug
an
Liman,
absolute
wasn't it?
disaster. Maybe he could do something that's not shitty, but really, it seems unnecessary.
Yeah.
Was
Well,
it Doug Liman? Lyman?
Doug Liman, yeah, which I was shocked by because I just showed you one of his earlier films, Swingers.
No, he didn't direct Swingers, did he?
Yeah, he did. That was his debut.
Oh,
Great film.
Doug
Did he
Liman.
do Live,
He
Die,
did the
Repeat?
Born. No, he did Born.
Oh,
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, and he did Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That was awful. That one. So yeah, he's around.
okay. So that's Shithouse 2, everybody, on the way.
Oh, gold.
Oh,
the big
Made a lot of money
surprise.
though. Made a
Yeah.
lot
I
of
should
money.
have done a reaction to. Yep, I should have done a reaction.
Minecraft. Who's seen
300
Minecraft?
million in 3 days.
unbelievable. Absolutely
Well, it's
unbelievable.
Minecraft. It's a big video game franchise, but I saw the trailer today and I thought, if I'd watched this 4 months ago, I might have hate watched it on purpose, but I'm glad I didn't because now people who said it was shit and now it's done successfully are now like, oh, you know what? I think I've just seen something over there, which I'm going to go and pop into the shops for a minute. I'll see you later. Bye.
No, but the people that say it's shit, they still maintain it's shit. I mean,
Oh,
you know,
the reviews for this are awful, Ian. The
Yeah,
reviews are
same,
still
so-
terrible, but
Yeah.
the kids are still going out to see it. So
because
yeah.
it's a huge game, isn't it? Kids,
Yeah,
and my nieces play it. Do you know what I
my
mean?
son has no interest in this movie. He thinks it looks terrible, and he's a huge Minecraft player. He saw this first trailer and thought it was awful, so he doesn't care. But still, there's a ton of people going out to see this.
It's good though because the cinemas now are kind of full because of this. So I want the cinema to survive.
Yeah.
Really, the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So my son can't wait to see this movie, and I said it looks terrible, and he's like, "Oh, Dad, you will hate it. Don't even bother. I have no doubt." And he's like, he knows it's going to be a crappy movie, but he said something about the vibe of sitting inside of Minecraft. He just wants to go. So I figure I've seen pictures of the theaters, and it's all kids. Like their parents aren't even suffering through; they're dropping them off.
Yeah,
and
this
going
is
elsewhere.
Jamalama, Wrench, Wolfspot. I'm
Spot
just happy
on.
for the theatres.
Yeah, spot on.
Yes.
Absolutely.
this is just one long meme. That's all this movie is. It is just an extended meme for 2 hours, however long it is. That's it. And so I don't see this getting multiple views. I don't see people heading back to the
Well, it doesn't
theaters a
need
lot
to,
for
though, does it? It doesn't need
second
to,
and
does
third
it?
weekends. But no, I mean it made plenty on its first weekend. I'm sure it's gonna do
But
well.
hasn't times changed, right? Because look at the cast, okay, right? If you went back, I don't know,
Yes.
to the 80s. So who's this woman on the left?
I have
Right.
no idea.
Right,
The-
now, I would say I
It's
don't
not
want to be
made for me.
Right, I don't want to be cruel, but she's not very good looking. If you went back to the 80s, that black woman would be awesome. She'd have like curves and everything, and
Fit as
she'd look
fuck.
fit as
Well,
yeah.
She's
Just like
checking
the
off.
show.
She's checking off several boxes so they can
Yeah,
put
yeah,
Jason
exactly.
Momoa in there.
Mhm.
Whereas in the
You
Police
got-
Academy films, you had Marion Ramsey as
Yes.
the whispering policewoman, but you
Yes.
knew who she was
Yeah.
straight away.
Yep.
And RIP to her, by the way.
Yeah.
She was so funny, man.
And is that a kid on the right? The second to right. That's a,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
right.
the
yes,
two
I
on the
think so.
right are both younger kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, the young woman there, right, on the extreme right. I mean, what is she
Far
wearing?
right.
Far right. Why is she wearing? Do you know what I mean? This is how far we've gone further away from what people really want to see. You know.
Well, kids,
Internet.
clearly somebody wants to see this. I don't think anybody's claiming it's a good movie, but hey, it did better than the Mario movie first week.
I
Is-
like
so
the Mario
is
movie.
anybody
Yeah.
going to go
That's
see
good.
this? Kung Fu going to go see it?
I think because I'm taking a bit of a swing in how I approach my content now on YouTube. Yes, I'm going to go and watch it at my local Cineworld probably on Wednesday in the morning, and then I'll talk about it on my channel. Make it, I like Jeremy Jones. I'll make it a 3-minute video.
Is that
That's it.
Wandsworth Cineworld?
That'll be the one.
Ah, that's the one I go to as well.
Ah,
Yeah,
we should meet up at some point then.
maybe.
Listen,
Well,
I'm old.
yeah,
I don't
you-
have many years left. I'm not going to waste them.
Oh
watching
man,
this.
what?
I want a recording of Mega Geek watching the Minecraft movie.
You just heard me snoring.
Yeah, go on,
that's why.
schedule it. Yeah, do a live meetup. Indeed. Okay. So we are all genuinely pleased for the theatres. Yes.
No,
Yeah,
they're not theatres. They're cinemas over here. What's wrong with
Well,
you, Ian?
Cinemas.
Is this enough? Is this enough to make up for the first 3 months of the year and what are going to possibly be very big bombs over the summer? Like, is
Superman?
one really hit movie enough to make up for what the theaters are having to go through and put up with?
Well,
They're cinemas.
Yeah.
yes, cinemas.
Well, the thing with Minecraft, I predict it's going to make $1 billion before
Probably.
Superman comes out. Yeah, I think it will. It's got those legs. So if it does, it's going to send out a big message to other studios. Right? Okay, what can we do? Because Superman has a very big advertising campaign coming out in the next few months, leading up to July the 11th, I think it is.
Yeah.
Or it comes out. So yeah, it's
I've
going to be
seen some
like a
of
cross
it,
between
actually.
Oppenheimer and Barbie. They're going to do that with
Maybe.
Superman.
I've seen
They're
I've
not
seen
gonna
some
do
of the
that.
advertisements.
Impossible.
It's another shot of him putting his boots on, and then another shot of him taking his boots off while the world's crumbling behind him. That's probably
We said last year, whoever came up with the Barbenheimer in the agency earned their money.
they did.
Yeah.
They did indeed.
Genius. Yeah.
Genius.
Genius. It wasn't the studios, apparently. It was a third party design agency who came up with that. So
I heard they're trying to do that with Fantastic Four and Superman. I don't. Well, hey, they always take away the wrong lesson.
Yeah,
But they
the thing
can't-
with the Barbenheimer stuff, it was a kind of a revenge against Christopher Nolan, because it was because Barbie's a Warner Brothers film, right?
I don't know.
yes.
Yeah, so that because Nolan used to work for Warner's for many years,
Yep.
that was them getting back at him. And to be honest, Oppenheimer was just a very bloated film from Nolan, who wants to be
Yeah.
so much like Michael Mann.
It
if I had to
bombed in
go
Japan,
to
apparently.
Barbie, I would watch for Ryan Gosling's performance. He was just absolutely hilarious because he's the actual MVP of that film.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need chicks. I'm just going to do things on my own. He tried to bring equality back with the Kens with the Barbies, but they weren't seeing it that way. I thought, you know what? You lot are bitches.
Did you enjoy Shooty Gatwa's performance?
Who?
Just don't go
I know who
there.
you're talking about. Yeah,
I do
Lincoln on
like how they I do like how they advertised Barbie and they had the boxes in the cinema so you can go and take a picture. of
Yeah,
the
brilliant.
boxes. That was terrific. That was a great idea. Absolutely terrific idea.
I do
don't know
think
what
there
they do
was.
for Superman. Maybe they're gonna have a box where you're putting your boot on or something like that for Superman. I don't know.
Here you go, folks. One for the Brits. Nomi the Navi thought Barbenheimer was a cheap beer from Aldi.
I do think Barbie was somewhat of an odd create where kind of people saw what they wanted to see in it. Particularly that speech, women saw, I don't know, they saw Susan B. Anthony shouting on the steps of the Capitol, where most guys just saw like a cringy woman screaming in the kitchen. So I do think Barbie was open to a wide array of interpretations.
Not to
It's not
mention
for
at
me.
the end, she's getting a vagina.
Well, I'm in favor of that.
And on Margot Robbie, yep, I'm queuing up.
I support that. And I do want to say I am rooting for WB. I'm glad the Minecraft movie did good, not just for theaters. We've lost already so many of our historic American studios. And, Zaslav is like the only guy who's not pushing this woke stuff on us.
How many times have we said on this channel we all have soft spots for Warner Brothers? Growing up in the 80s, they had the best movies.
They did. They did.
I will say though, with their video game division at Warner Brothers, they are still pushing the woke stuff and they're doing it more and more. So I don't know why Zaslav doesn't get in there and wrenches them out like the Terminator did to poor Bill Paxton in the first Terminator. That's what Zaslav wears the sunglasses even at night. He should be going in there and doing everything out.
The thing
Yeah,
about
well-
Warner Brothers is that they have different sections and they have different people that's in charge of those sections. Even though he's in charge of Warner Brothers fully, maybe he doesn't have the power to actually do anything to stop them.
That's
Who
a
knows
shame.
how
No.
it's all
Okay.
how it's
Well-
all arranged? I don't know.
And remember, J.K. Rowling. I have a feeling they could take a huge bath on Harry Potter. I don't know, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
moment I see Harry Potter's dad and Sirius
Goes
try to
black?
string up a black Snape on the tree, like
Listen, that's my nickname on a Sunday night.
We're being told to move along. Too much Jack Black's beer gut.
okay,
Sidestep. Okay.
I support.
Minecraft movie. This was before we got the figures. It's set to debut with 260 million worldwide? Biggest opening day in Hollywood. Sorry, biggest opening day for a Hollywood film in 2025 in China. Biggest opening day in 2025 in UK and Spain. Biggest opening weekend, more importantly, in Poland.
Well,
Pretty good, isn't it?
Because, folks, in Poland, it all matters.
this had a 150 budget, so if it comes in at 300 this weekend, it will have gotten a long way to making it back its money.
already.
So that means that everything going forward is profit, which is going to be big
Okay,
for them.
it says here, box office, a Minecraft movie strikes gold with record-shattering 157 million US launch.
That's domestic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 157 is
Local.
domestic. It's going to be around 305, and
Yeah, and it
worldwide.
has a nice split there, slightly skewed toward domestic.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
So, gentlemen, I've got to echo the
Surprising.
sentiment. Might not be made for us, this film, but the theaters are lapping it up.
Yep.
They might get repeat customers, they might not, but either way, those arenas are filled out. Cha-ching, popcorn, cha-ching. It's all
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Are the popcorn buckets big for this one?
I
They
don't
have
know.
to have popcorn
Oh, no.
buckets, right? You couldn't do a Minecraft movie and not have a.
Is it
Not have
square? Is it
some-
a square bucket?
Yeah, I guess a popcorn box or a popcorn
Like a waste
cube.
paper a
The
bin.
the popcorn bucket that I saw was a sheep.
Oh,
That was the only
film,
one.
yeah.
That was the only one that I saw. But I think some of the others have like some like blocky TNT things or something, or like chests. Every theater has different stuff. So,
But don't forget, Microsoft, this is their property. So I wonder what kind of deal they worked out with Warner Brothers.
And on that bombshell,
no idea.
borderline stream killer. Is it called a Minecraft movie?
yes, a Minecraft movie, not the Minecraft movie.
Debuts on Cinemascore with B+. Is that good or bad?
Bad.
B plus is okay, not great. B minus is bad.
Yeah, I would say B plus isn't. Yeah, it's borderline not okay. Like it's. But yeah, it's better than a B or a B minus, obviously. Yeah.
Shockingly,
I mean, the reviews are bad. Nobody.
Yeah, the reviews for it are awful. Yeah, if you look at some of the different things like Metacritic, the average of scores from reviewers is a 47, and then the mixed the user scores is actually a 5.5.
I bet the TikToks on this are going to be phenomenal. Though.
Oh yeah, I guess this is an hour and a half long, 2 hour long meme. That's all this is.
Is it genuinely 5.5?
Yes, it is on Metacritic. Yeah, the user scores are 5.5.
Is there some kind of copyright infringement?
Oh yeah,
Ugh.
take them down for that.
Okay, let's do the next one then. This was
Are we still
the
on this?
debuts with 53 on Rotten Tomatoes. That was the first day it was the embargo was out. 53. So whatever.
because shock horror, it doesn't have ideology embedded into it. If it did, it would have scored more.
Probably.
Probably the live action Minecraft Get Sick of Saying It got the biggest domestic pubes.
Well, I'm sorry.
A lot
You
of
were,
pubes
you were looking
there
at
around,
you were
yeah.
looking at Jack
Pubes.
Black's face, and you just thought
Pubes, facial
What's
pubes.
gonna-
Oh, They're finally making a comeback. Okay.
I shaved all
All
my
those-
facial pubes off today. 10.5
Thanks
mil
for sharing.
domestic previews. That's pretty good. Biggest ever for a video
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Is it the power of Jack Black, do we think?
Oh God, no.
No. It's the power of Minecraft.
Exactly. Yeah.
The
Jack,
name is bigger than the stars.
So now the theaters are okay, but I feel bad for all those waxing salons that are going to go out of
Oh,
business.
yeah.
Ugh.
Tough crowd
Yeah.
tonight. Tough crowd.
yeah. No.
Okay, have we finished with Minecraft?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was just
Yeah.
Jack Black is literally the reason my son has no interest in
Okay.
seeing it because he doesn't. He's like,
Do we-
ew, Jack
Okay,
Black.
predictions for next week. Then we'll move on. So it's going to do well, isn't it? Second week, boys. What do you think?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I think it'll be middling on the second week. I think there's not going to be a
holidays
lot of
coming
return
up as well.
views.
Holidays coming up as well. Yeah, for the kids.
It'll do better than Snow White.
Oh yes, it's going to do a lot better.
Already
Than Snow
has.
White. It's already beat probably Snow White's whole run. It's already-
I predict a 62% fall off, which isn't terrible.
Oh,
Okay, let's move on with some super chats, if I may. MJuke84 wrenched 5 Canadian woke dollars. Hello, my friend. We need a segment featuring Price and Mega discussing the topics du jour. We can call it Brown's Price of Shite. Long live Brown Lance. Thank you, my friend.
Make that a member exclusive.
We could do, yes. Mega Spider-Man wrenched €5. Hello there. To all, fave Jim Carrey film and why?
Definitely The Mask for me. It's very unique for its time, and I thought it was quite funny. And I thought it was the first time I discovered, obviously, being in England, there's no Saturday Night Live, so it's the first time I discovered Jim Carrey. So that was mine.
Kung Fu.
I've got to say The Mask because I went to a preview screening of it back in the day
Nice.
and got some freebies from it, which I sadly don't have anymore. But of course, Cameron Diaz wearing that
yes.
incredible red dress with no underwear on. Well, yes, that's why it's an all-time classic.
Absolutely.
Prof.
Oh gosh, yeah, I got the original Ace Ventura. Very good. I think probably the one I enjoy the most is Liar Liar.
Yeah,
I
that
really
one.
like
well.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
like-
like that one.
yeah,
as
I
well.
like
That's probably
Especially
my
the outtakes at the end.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the outtakes at the end are classic.
Yeah.
Overactor.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I actually agree with you, Professor. Liar Liar for me, for some reason, that's the one that I kind of like the most, even though The Mask and Ace Ventura 1 kind of are a close second. I really like those movies too, but Liar Liar, I just think he's brilliant in that movie.
Yeah.
He gets to show a lot of range in that one. He gets to have fun with
Right.
the physical stuff, but he also gets to show some really emotional bits. and
Also,
I like
that
it.
outtake at the end when he's in the lift with that woman, they'd never be allowed today when he's going. I just
Oh,
wanna
yeah,
take
yeah,
those
yeah,
things and box them. Brilliant stuff.
Ister.
I'm gonna go with the Truman Show. I think
Very
that
good.
was
That's a
a
good one.
phenomenal movie, and it had massive loads of subtext in it. It gave him a good chance to really show off his dramatic chops, and the movie was a very subtle condemnation of like the movie and television industries in Hollywood. And I'm always a sucker for exposing the horrors of Hollywood. So I did like Spotless too, and most of his early comedies are fun; they're really enjoyable. But man, the Truman Show really hit me hard.
Yeah,
And
got it.
Ed Harris in there, brilliant.
Okay,
Yeah.
is that everybody
Earth
else?
Girls Are Easy. He was in that as well.
Yes. Yes, we got some mentions of Man on the Moon in chat. That's also a really interesting film.
He was also in Deadpool, the what is it? The
Oh, yeah, the
Dirty
Clint
Harry
Eastwood.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
one of
was that his first movie?
The Deadpool,
think so.
yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Welcome
Okay.
to the jungle. We got fun games. And he just dies.
He does.
Dave Chappelle has a hilarious story about Jim Carrey going completely over the top method for that movie, Man on the Moon. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, he changed his whole life.
Yeah,
for that movie.
he's lucky he survived.
He is actually.
Drugs involved.
And he paid back Clint Eastwood later on at an Oscar ceremony by doing an impersonation of him, very deadpan. And even Clint got the joke.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Please tell your Leslie Headland story, Price.
Oh no, we'll be here all day.
Yes, tell
No,
it.
go on. No, go.
No.
Yeah, Kung Fu's not
No.
heard it, though.
All right.
No, no.
I love that of all the people you've met, Price, this is the story they keep
It was
wanting
the
you to tell.
dumbest thing. It was the dumbest thing. I regret ever even mentioning this. This is the
No, we
stupidest
don't.
story.
Go on.
But in any case, in what seems like years ago, it was somewhere in the mid 2000s, not like the 2010, but 2000s. I lived in the East Village in New York City, and I went to a bar that had this kind of cinema theme. It wasn't the most fancy bar, but it was kind of trendy for locals. And I would go there because it was very close to where I lived. And one night I was sitting there and I was drinking because it was like my hangout, like it was really close to where I lived. And somebody sat next to me, like some lady and young lady. I was a young guy too. And I started talking to her about, I don't know, about movies and stuff like that. It ended up being Leslie Headland. And at the time she was working for Harvey W. And I sat there for a few hours and, I was drinking, drinks. She was drinking drinks. And we talked about cinema and just stuff. And for some reason, I have to keep telling this story over and over again. And I'm not quite sure why, but that's what happened to me about, it's probably 20 years ago at this point. Maybe it's not 20. I think it's like 18, 17 years, something like that. Wow. I don't know.
She looked like a woman, right?
What'd you say?
She looked like a woman, right?
Yes, and she looked like a woman. She didn't look like she didn't look the way she looks today. She actually like had very feminine. She was like she had makeup on. She was wearing clothes that were very womany, and she was thin, which also, people think about her today. They don't think any of those things, but
no,
she
because
was thin.
No neck, Headland.
Well, there's a reason they don't think any of those things.
Right, but at the time,
reality.
And it makes sense that she was thin and womanly and all that stuff, because I don't know how to say this in a way that won't sound bad, but I don't think that Harvey W. would have hired a woman that like is not thin and looks feminine and stuff like that. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but I honestly think that probably played a role in that whole situation. So
why is that a terrible thing to say? We know who the guy is terrible. We know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not. I don't know if it's a terrible thing to say. It's just kind of weird because he's not necessarily. It's not that it came from a good place. The fact that he wanted his ladies to look nice, but I'm just saying that at the time, I think that if she looked the way she looked today and was all like, the way she is now, I'm not sure he would have hired her. That's all I'm saying. And at that moment in time, if you told me that she was like, not into dudes or stuff like that, it wouldn't have been an obvious thing. You know what I mean? Like it didn't seem that way, but I guess that's what she's like now. So for some reason, I told that story once at the end of some stream that there were 3 people listening, and somebody clipped it. And since then, I have to retell this story, relive this nightmare over again.
Listen, when people pay, you've got to. You got to do the story,
right? No, I don't want to take away the fun. If people paid, I want to give them the fun. So I gave them the story. I've had a lot of other much better stories, things that I'm really proud of, things that are like funny and amusing, but nobody ever asked me about them.
Yeah, but we're not interested in them anyway. Okay.
I'm like that band that has like some one-hit wonder that like the band didn't even like that hit.
Price turned Headland into a lesbian.
It was me. It was absolutely me. She spent a few hours next to me drinking and talking to me, and that's it. She walked out and she said, "I'm done with men."
And it's your fault.
And he sort of hit the answer to your question. The deviants in the chat, everybody wants to fill in the blanks in your story, with their own reprobatiness. So that's why they keep wanting you to tell the story. Yep. And nobody could believe she actually looked like a woman.
It is the truth. I know it sounds strange. And I've actually looked online, and there aren't. I feel like I met her a few years before. You can find pictures of her online, but even a few years afterwards, if you look at pictures of her, she still looks rather thin and she doesn't look exactly like what you see today. Like she's still, it's like a transitional period where she's already starting to like,
she looks like she walked out of the Minecraft movie now with that big old square head and
well
glasses.
now, you know what I mean? I can't, I can't speak for now. I mean, to be fair, and I say this every time, I'm sure I look different now than I did, 18 years ago, 17, whatever it is. I look different now. I probably have gained some weight. I certainly looked better then than I do now. I'm sure of it. So it's not fair that like I would like say, oh, well, she got older. Look at her. I mean, I did too, but nobody's talking about me. Like I'm not sitting there. I don't do like press conferences, and nobody paid me millions of dollars to ruin Star Wars. Like, so nobody cares. You know what I mean? I'm just your average Joe. So nobody cares.
Leslie Headland walking into she walks into a film office, right? And she wants to get a job. Basically, it's going to be Colin Farrell's character from Horrible Bosses, the fat chick. Fire the fat chick. Get rid of her now. That's going to be the modern day boss that wouldn't have a woman like her in the office. So when you tell that story, I just thought of Colin Farrell's character from Horrible Bosses. So
right. I mean, that's probably what he would say. But at the time, the way she carried herself was more pleasant. I mean, I think that at that time, that wouldn't have been the first thing on everybody's mind. And I'm not saying it's not that I looked at her and thought she was like a supermodel, but at least I can say like all the things that people kind of say today that like, the things that sort of make her look strange, they weren't really there. She looked like at least okay, you know what I mean? She wasn't awful looking, you know what I mean?
Well, to say you didn't want to talk about it, 10 minutes later.
Yeah, just doing an image search and you can't find anything on her at the moment. Damn. That's my new rabbit hole for later on.
I guess if you met her now, you'll be able to rest your beer on top of her head.
Why did somebody unsub?
I'm going to unsub my own channel. A working man earned 1.9 million on Friday and looks to drop about 53% in its second weekend. Statham vigilante thriller is expected to hit a 27.8 million domestic.
That's an Amazon film, isn't it? So I'm just going to watch it on Amazon when it comes out.
It is Amazon, yeah. Anybody else see this?
I thought it was fun.
This is very successful, despite it being a much smaller number than Minecraft. This is really good for this.
Yeah, for the budget.
Budget 40 million.
I've seen this movie.
So have I.
Oh, have you seen this movie? Did you enjoy this movie?
I thought, it's a very it's a very standard Jason Statham movie. I personally like action movies like that. It's not the best action movie I've ever seen. It's not the best Jason Statham action movie I've ever seen. But I can't say that I didn't somewhat enjoy it. I sat in the theater. It was a serviceable enough action movie, and I kind of like that genre, and I enjoyed it for whatever it was.
Kung Fu, have you seen Working Man?
No, I'm probably going to watch it on Amazon when it becomes available. But I heard that it's just the usual, like the gentleman just said, it's an average movie, but it's serviceable. I do like the Transporter films and the only two Crank movies. So that's him at his prime, actually.
Have you got a Cineworld card?
Not at the moment, but I did contact them today because they follow me on X, which is bizarre. I don't know if they're aware of what content I actually put on my channel, but
see if you can blag a free
deal with subscribers with tickets, but they can't sort me out.
I actually I saw The Mechanic. I love the original Charles Bronson movie.
Yeah, Michael Vincent,
It wasn't bad, except it started off where he's like hiding in the bottom of a pool to kill this guy.
Yeah.
And they never show how he gets out of the pool because it's like surrounded by guards. It's like pull an Ant-Man and slip down the drain. It was just such an obvious, now he just escaped, like kind of thing. But the rest of the movie, it was typical Statham playing Statham in a Jason Statham movie.
I'm going to say this is worth 2 hours of your time, isn't it, Ian?
It was okay. It wasn't as good as The Beekeeper, as far as I was concerned. My mum enjoyed it anyway because she loves Jason Statham, so it was okay. It was the fights were really badly choreographed. It was like
Oh.
Born Identity. You couldn't see what the fuck was going on, but you know, it's the usual. As I said, it was enjoyable to a point. The ending was stupid as far as I was concerned, but it's worth your time.
Here you go, folks. Wrenched. What is the next Statham? The bin man. Yeah, the bin man is shooting in Birmingham. Yes. Bit of politics.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was all shot in England, wasn't it? This film. They were
Yes.
trying to make out it was
Really?
America, but it wasn't. It was England.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah. But was it? Somebody said it last week, didn't they? Is it Berkshire and London? They shot it
Yep.
in there. You can tell because there's one scene in it where he goes to visit some guy, and
Some
you can tell it's
flats.
You can tell it's Wandsworth. It's like they're in
Oh,
Wandsworth,
no.
man. Yeah. So
No.
yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Worth a watch, everybody. That's A Working Man.
Yeah.
They're good.
Snow White earned
Sign of the cross. Sign of the cross.
1.5 million on Friday. Domestic gross now stands at $72, and the film is in serious danger of not even hitting $100 in North America. A
It's no, not so white.
disastrous results for a 250 trillion million gazillion
Do
Hollywood
you know what?
production.
My sister is a normie, and she went to see it, and she said it wasn't very good. She said, and she also mentioned her eyes were too wide apart. Apparently,
Yeah, so does everybody else.
Yep.
But, yeah, they're going to end up losing over 350 million.
Yeah.
On this.
Oh, they're gonna take a bath on this. It's once you add in all the marketing and everything, this movie probably cost Disney over $600 million. So, yeah, this is gonna be an absolute
they've
disaster for
cancelled
them.
Rapunzel because of this, haven't they? So they were going to do a live remake of Rapunzel.
Because she was going to be black.
Right.
Yeah,
no, they were going to do some kind of weird woke
Let
thing.
down your afro hair.
Yeah. It was going to be Rapunzel Quisha. And
let down
your weave.
Let down your weave.
Let down your weave. Or
Yeah.
let down them dreads.
Yeah, man. Kung Fu, did you watch Snow White?
I did a review of it on my channel.
Good
But
lad.
but here's the beauty of it. I went to a torrent site and it was in Spanish. And because Rachel Zegler is kind of that heritage partly, I watched the whole thing in about 15 minutes and did a review of my edited breakdown. The fastest watch ever. Every bad, I was thinking to myself, this is just the weirdest timeline ever, because there's black folks in the Hans Christian Andersen book, and this, but it's just so much fun in Spanish to watch. It was hilarious.
All right,
But
I
yeah,
just have to say, I just saw Kung Fu Hot Dog's thumbnails. Like, way to go, man! That's definitely from the Endymion school of getting people's attention.
Yeah.
This has been an absolute disaster for Disney. If you actually go look at the tracking week to week, this may come in under the Marvels.
Even if she didn't say that stuff in the interview about it's Hollywood, baby, and Andrew Burnap, his scenes will be removed. Even if she didn't say any of that stuff, this film would still be a colossal failure.
Yes,
It wouldn't matter. You can't take a time machine and go back and say, Zegler, can you just do it this way, please? She was already a despised little brat even back then. She's an actress. She puts on the false niceties as opposed to the nice titties and doesn't get anywhere, does she? No one likes her.
Well,
She's got big old eyebrows too.
she's done in Hollywood though.
Yeah, I don't. I think.
Oh, she's going to sue Hollywood Studios, by the way, because they've made her look bad. She's actually going to sue the studios. And I think, I can't remember who said it, but the studio is always bigger than the star. That's a mantra in Hollywood. It can never. Tom Cruise is the only person who might be bigger than the studio. Might be. Just him, nobody else.
It's saved Hollywood.
Leaving Hollywood, isn't it? Because of all this rubbish that's happening in Hollywood. I mean, they've literally got it now that it's not healthy to live in Los Angeles or even part of Hollywood movies.
Punchable face, wrenched, not for much longer. She's like Leeds United. Bastard.
I don't know. Do you know what? This film could have been a huge hit for them if they didn't cast her and they did it right. But
Who could they
didn't.
have cast?
I don't know, but the thing is, though,
Lily
it's
James.
maybe, maybe. But you know what? It is the very first the film that got Disney noticed. You think they had more respect for the material, but they didn't.
It had to be good. Yes, agreed.
Did you see
and
that?
shock horror, the 1937 cartoon has Christian values
Yeah.
because Snow White prays to God and says,
Well-
"Thanks for these 7 men who are protecting me."
Christian values very problematic these days.
7
Did you see
midgets.
that
Sorry,
Asian
midgets.
actress who was? There was an Asian actress who was playing Snow White, and she looked absolutely amazing. She could have done it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the actress that's doing the voice for the Asian.
Yeah, we did
one
that
of the
last week,
Asian
didn't we? Yeah,
releases,
she's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, she was all. And then there's the Polly's friend. I forget her name. She was in the that sci-fi movie Ash, and she was the runner-up to Daisy Ridley when they were looking for Ray. She would have been. She may be a little old, but I mean, literally anybody they could have cast
Yeah, hell
would have done
gassed.
better.
Will
Anyone with
Spotler, my
this-
friend.
Anyone with the slightest amount of
I
humility.
think Hollywood should stop making us men not be men. You know, there's a reason why we all gravitate towards Sydney Sweeney.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Daphne
You know what I mean?
Keane could have played Snow White, and then when her claws came out and she tore the evil queen. Well,
The fairest of them all.
tough crowd.
No, I didn't
Okay.
get that. But anyway, let's move on, shall we?
She was the X-23 actress, the baby Wolverine
she's
girl.
all right.
Keane,
Yeah,
yeah,
she's
yeah.
all right.
yeah,
Daphne
Keane.
Keane. Yeah.
Yeah,
She English.
Yeah.
yeah, she is.
She got booty as well. Yeah, she's all right. Okay. I went to see that at the cinema. It was a fucking pain in the ass to get to the cinema as well.
Oh no.
Hi, it's me, Pedro. Your very own Mr. Fantastic.
Hollywood actor Pedro Pascal uses he/him pronouns. Indeed.
Shut up.
Why? Why?
Praises Rachel Zegler, calling her an icon.
That's because he's an idiot. He doesn't know
How
what
he's
he's
a
talking
moron.
about.
would you describe her in one word? Well,
Yeah, see you next Tuesday.
He forgot the T on the end.
Yeah.
He's an idiot, that guy. He really is. Well, maybe. I shouldn't say
But
that. I
Idiot
don't
for
know.
hire, just call Pedro Pascal.
Did anyone call him and say an icon of what? Literally, what has she done?
Do you know what,
Oh
right?
no.
I say the worst thing about Fantastic Four is him after the previews.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll get to talk about
We're
that some
getting
more.
there.
Oh. Indeed.
But yeah, no. Moron, maybe that might be a good one-word
Yeah.
description.
I think Punchable Face has a new avatar. Catch that screen right
Yeah,
there.
Punchable. That's your new avatar, mate. Punchable. You could choose either one. To be fair.
More like Avatar.
Can we
Pedro.
move on?
go
Let's
away.
move on, shall we? I
How
don't
would
like
you
that
feel
guy.
if he walked up to you and started touching you?
Who? Pedro?
Oh, so Pedro, keep doing that while I film it, and then I'm just going to send it to the police. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do that, yeah.
I'd just knock his block off. Like,
Moto I jump on the stream and you're welcome, mate. Okay, let's move on.
Oh no.
Boy.
Oh my God!
A
You're
new-
kidding. Roger
a new-
Corman, all is forgiven.
A new
Yeah.
poster for Fantastic Four First Steps has been released. The MC movie hits
With a
theaters.
female Silver Surfer. Can't wait.
Cinema,
Mm.
July 25th.
The thing is meant to be bigger than that. Why is he so small?
I think this poster
know.
is perfect. The poster is perfect because it's going to represents everything about the movie. It's going to be style over substance.
That is a nice piece of design.
Do you know what, right? I want
Yeah,
you all to promise that if you go to see this film and Sue Storm is the one that's giving the orders and being clever, I want you to scream in the cinema. I just want you everyone to hear.
I've got it. Ian, why don't you and Kung Fu set a date for Fantastic Four?
Stop setting me up with Kung Fu. What's wrong with you?
Naughty.
They are really doubling down on that Pan Am blue too.
Yeah,
Oh, yes, they are.
I
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
everywhere.
I like
I
it.
mean, it looks fine, but I
Yeah,
just
design-wise.
it looks
Yeah.
okay. It's just that I don't
It looks
trust them.
hypnotic.
It's
Okay.
not
No,
a
of course
poster
not.
that's the problem.
Okay.
And the-
If
Everything
No, go on.
anybody is going to say positive about this movie is going to be how it looks, the production, and the
Here you go,
design.
folks. Sword and Storm, Wrenched. Hello, Sword. Come on, guys. This is going to be great.
I hope so. I just don't have faith in it because Pedro's in it.
Ooh, yeah, and if you're looking at the people who were at Cinemacon this week and got to see some of the previews,
Oh yeah, they weren't in favor.
they were not
Oh,
happy with
no.
what they saw.
But you know what, right? Let's look at the trailer, right? You think that it would show us something incredible, like the Thing lifting something, 10 times bigger than him, Mr. Fantastic stretching and doing
Let's
something.
make
Hey,
it-
that's a heavy
Johnny
spoon
Storm.
he's lifting.
Why
And-
do
and
you
what-
think
what did we
I
get?
own the
We
story Fantastic Fours? Why do you think I own them?
That
'Cause at least-
spoon is
yeah.
heavy. The one he's
Jessica
stirring the sauce
Alba,
with.
a Sue Storm.
As I said before, you had the thing in the kitchen. You had Sue Storm being clever. You had Johnny Storm wanking in his bedroom. She came in with some
Which is
nonsense
actually
like
true
that.
to life.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's just the worst teaser trailer I've ever seen to date. The
Do we know what
Fantastic Four.
rating this is? Because if Johnny Storm was cracking one off, surely that would be restricted.
And also, was that a rumor where she's pregnant? Sue
Yes,
Storm's
apparently
pregnant?
she
Yeah,
is
it's
pregnant in
apparently.
the film. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Here we
Pedro
go.
is
Daughter.
Here we go. Hold on. Bayonara Rad. Flame on. Come on.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Flame on.
I wouldn't be
Numerous-
surprised if he was gay in this. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I wouldn't be surprised
Probably
one
wouldn't.
bit. No.
Flame on.
But yeah,
Dear
apparently,
Kevin Feige, please make Johnny Storm gay, please.
oh,
Thanks.
please. Yeah. Pedro has been quoted by several people who I've heard from at Cinemacon that just saying he's completely wrong for the part, and we've all been saying that since the first trailer that we saw.
Yeah, we've all like. He
You know,
doesn't
good
even
friend
look like the
is mine,
smartest
Mr.
guy
Fantastic.
in the room. He's not the smartest
Well,
man on the.
Doesn't matter. He's
Earth.
not gonna be the smart one.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be
oh,
Sue.
You know what? I totally forgot about that. You're right.
Sue Storm.
My bad. I retract.
And Vanessa Kirby used to look hot a long time ago, but she's getting a bit long in the tooth. I would have had somebody else in her place.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely
Bailey
right.
Hatwell.
And
Well,
they're not.
she's too old now, isn't she? as
And they're
well?
doing that uglification thing. They're not
Yeah,
really
they are.
showing her
Yeah.
as good as she can look.
So who could be a good Sue Storm then?
I don't know. Someone blonde. I don't know.
That'd be a good start. Blonde.
Yeah, blonde. Because Sue
Come
Storm
on,
is
Kung-
blonde, isn't she?
Yeah, come on, Kung Fu. You're the.
Well, I'm going to go to Lily
expert.
James again. I think she will still look good. I'm trying to think of some up and coming actresses. Oh, who's that? Anya Taylor-Joy would be an off-stream, but she would be a bit quirky and unusual. That's what they're going for. And Anya Taylor-Joy is not too bad
Well,
looking.
we've got
It just depends
we've
what
got it.
camera angle you've got her at.
Yeah, we got it. Side feet legend wrenched. Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah.
That's it. Dylan, sponsored
Or
by Bud Light.
Zendaya.
Whoever
Zendaya's
looks like
great in everything.
No tits. Yeah.
whoever looks like Charlize Theron looked in her 20s should play.
Do you know what? Sydney Sweeney might make a good Sue Storm.
Easy.
I reckon
Yeah, but-
she might make a good Sue Storm. No, seriously. I think
Yeah,
she would.
but she's already taken up like half of the Marvel and DC
I'd-
universe she
yeah.
play.
I'd do this. Yeah, Brie,
Oh my word.
do you know, at this
Wow.
stage, I'd take Brie Larson at this stage.
Yeah, Brie Larson would make a good Sue Storm.
Bree's
At
come
least she
full
looks
circle.
like her. Yeah, at least
Bree-
she looks like her.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah. I would actually have to agree with that one.
Yeah. To make
Well,
him
she's
look
already
like
been in the MCU. I don't know. I mean, honestly, if they were already going for an older actress, I already like Jessica Alba better. She still looks fantastic, in my opinion.
Yeah, she does. She does.
I mean, all the main cast, they basically, it wasn't even like real recasting, because you'd think that if they decided to do a fresh start with new cast, then they'd go for a younger cast. But instead, Pedro Pascal's probably the same age as Ian Gruffudd or Ion Griffith, whatever his
Yeah.
name is. Jessica
It'd still
Alba.
make a better.
What'd you say?
It'd still be a better Reed Richards than Pedro.
I would take the original cast of
Yes.
Fantastic Four over any of these people today. And with Michael Chiklis, who is already really significantly older, all they need to do is just do the CGI thing and let him do the voice. His voice sounded a lot more like the Thing than this guy that's like talking about hors d'oeuvres or whatever this guy was talking about.
Absolutely.
About, like, his sauce and like working in the kitchen or whatever the fuck that guy was doing. I think that all they needed to do was honestly, if they were going to do such a shitty job, just bring the original cast and make it seem like you're just doing another entry and just reintroduce them. That would have been better than this. I'm not saying it's the prime thing that they should have done, but if the option is old cast members, just go with the old ones that were fine. I had no issues with that cast. I only had issues with the writing, especially of the second movie. But if you could bring writers, that cast was better than this cast. I do believe that.
Chris Evans would be a problem, though, wouldn't he?
What'd you say?
Chris Evans.
Well, it would only be a problem since they killed him in Deadpool and Wolverine. If they wouldn't have killed him, they could have brought him back and and they explain that it's like a different universe. Whatever you want to say, they're going to do all that stupid like doomsday crap anyways. They explain that it's the same, it's a different universe, and that's why that's the Chris Evans that's different than the other Chris Evans.
Okay.
And I think everybody would have just gone along with it.
This is a 50-50 at the moment, isn't it?
Oh, I don't think there's a chance this is any good. I really don't.
No, I'm hoping it's good. I want to see
It's
a good
coming out after Superman.
film. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And I'll get to that point as well in a minute, why this might be effed by Superman.
Here you go. Quick super chat. Ister, you available?
Who's this chick?
Yeah. No, I paid to have you read it, Brown.
Okay, Ister Phobos Wrench Will Spot $2. Kiernan Shipka would make a fantastic
I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
thumbs up.
Who's she?
She was in Sabrina, the Netflix show. Yeah, I know who he's talking about.
Okay, yeah. She'd make a good Sue Storm.
Yeah.
But who would make a good Johnny Storm, though? That's the thing. Who would make a good Johnny Storm?
Chris
Still
Evans.
Chris Evans.
Okay. Side set, everybody.
God, this looks
wow.
so...
Yeah,
New look at the
it looks awful.
Fantastic Four in their spacesuits in Fantastic Four.
It's trying to be the Fallout game. That is, that's probably a clever aspect about it. It's got that 60s kind of hue about it. But when I see the people in the frame, I'm thinking, did you wander off another film set and walk into this one by mistake? That's what I would say.
Wasn't Ben Grimm a football player originally in comics? In the comics,
he was an athlete and a pilot.
There you go. They're all coming in. Look, is that Nigel Farage on the left? Yes.
Wait, that looks like Down's cat next to Pedro.
What?
They didn't even make the effort to make him look like Mr. Fantastic.
From Ahsoka, Down's cat. Never mind.
I got the reference. Don't worry. We got that's Channel Law, mate. We got it. Don't worry.
Also, it's like, what did he do? He called and he said, "Hey, can I keep my stupid mustache?"
It's a contractual thing. He needs to have the mustache in every single movie.
Why? It's already bad enough that he's in every movie. Why does he have to also be with his mustache?
Let's see if he shaves off the mustache. Then
maybe you won't notice immediately that it's him in another movie. Maybe for a second, you have like 10 seconds that you don't recognize it's him.
No, it's almost like a safety blanket. He has to have the mustache on all the time. See.
Okay, here you go, Mr. Ian. Hello, Ian. This production looks cheap, does it?
It does a bit, yeah.
Yeah. And, I could overlook that. The same with the Superman stuff. I don't really care about the costume, the robots, the dog. If the story's good, if I get the immersion and the story's good, I can overlook all that stuff. But I don't think for a second the story's going to be good here because I know who's writing this and they give us Silver Surfette. And, I'll admit I'm wrong if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be wrong.
Are we all going to actually see this in the theater? I think
maybe. Yes.
Yeah, I think YouTubers. Yeah, YouTubers will be watching this.
Yeah.
So there's a documentary about NASA. It's not the NASA it's a different sort of NASA. And Pedro looks like he is in the Latin version of that documentary. For those who know what I'm talking about.
They
killer.
kidnapped Julia Garner from Ozark, and they said, "Oh, you're going to be the female Silver Surfer." She doesn't deserve that. She's a very good actress, and that's what Marvel does now. They gobble up indie talent and turn them into what they want, which I can't stand.
She's good for that particular role in Ozark. I'm not convinced she has a lot of range.
No mistake.
No, I actually will say that she's a good actress with ranges to Phobos, because she also did that one where she plays the real life con woman that stole money from people. That was a completely different vibe than the Ozark role, and she did both of them very well. So I think that actually anytime I see Julia Garner, I think she's good, but none of that matters, because if they give her a crappy role in a stupid script and they push some weird woke agenda, that's not going to help Julia Garner. So I don't think she's a bad actress. I think that they're probably going to put a stain on her resume the way Mega Geek just said. That's what they do to these guys.
They do it.
Everybody's doing NASA double S.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a little short film, Ken Burns documentary spoof about NASA, but it's basically it's the Negro Leagues of NASA, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Do we have a link for that? Okay.
I'll get it.
Get this. Here we go. The Fantastic Four is described as a 60s space race movie shot with miniatures, practical sets, and vintage bollocks. I really wanted to feel like it was made in 1965. The way Stanley Kubrick would have made it.
Yeah, because Stanley Kubrick would say, "I want to make a fucking superhero movie."
Yeah.
It's they might have a bit of practical in there, but majority will be CGI.
I think they messed up vintage lenses. I think they meant vintage TikTok filters.
And also, they don't need the vintage lenses. Everybody knows, if you're a filmmaker, you know that in post, they can do anything, almost anything.
Can they fix the movie though? The plot in post?
No, of course they can't. That's the foundation of the whole thing, isn't it? If the foundation's fucked, then the film is fucked.
That's the NASA link, everybody. Enjoy at your leisure afterwards.
It looks like if you put that button into a 2-liter of Coke, it would explode. That's Mentos do that. So
yes,
Richard.
Don't try it at home.
Storm Grimm.
Fantastic Four, starring Nigel Farage.
Why has it got two? Why doesn't it say Richards, Sue, and Johnny and Grimm?
They weren't married when it started. She became Richards as the comic.
I see. Okay. They got Herbie the Robot in it as well, haven't they?
Good Night Sword. Oh yeah, the little not the car either.
Rubbish. We'll see.
That means that she'll be knocked up before they're married.
Okay, speaking of rubbish, new character posters for Thunderbolts.
I don't want to see this at all. I think I'll give this one a miss.
When I see this, I think R.I.P. Calculon.
I'm sorry, right, but anybody that thinks Pug is attractive, I'm sorry, you need your eyes tested, because she is not.
She looked good in the Cinemacon in that very, very extra tight white jumper that doubled as a dress.
Just looks like one of the.
Not in this film.
Easy.
She looks tiny. She looks tiny and
She's
dumpy.
tiny.
Is she good good actor?
I don't know. I don't care.
She was really good in Oppenheimer. I'll give her that. But
yes, well, certain bearing aspects about her. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think much of her at all.
She has her cute moments in that Olivia Wilde terrible movie. I didn't think she looked good at all, but.
What are you doing watching that shit? It makes me question your sanity. I'd never watch that crap.
I did a reaction to this a few months ago, and nobody else called it out, but I did. It's a perfect ripoff of Mission Impossible 2. Sebastian Stan literally dresses up like Tom Cruise, long hair, sunglasses, on a motorcycle, does a very similar stunt, and a lot of people in this section went, "Yeah, I didn't actually spot that until you mentioned it." It's like they've run out of ideas. Like, oh, let's go to a film that someone's forgotten about, and we'll just do it again. But then they don't count on the guy like me who's watched MI2 countless times. It's such a, and I thought, you know what, I'm not sure, and I might still go and watch it. And the woman that plays Hannah John Kamen on the bottom right-hand side, they had her as White Jill Valentine in a Resident Evil film on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
That was exactly my casting choice as well.
But why would they? If there's problems brewing, why would they hire these people? I mean, Thor's still around. I mean, majority of the heroes are still around. I mean, I don't understand why they would go and ask.
They're saving them for Doomsday, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they can't target. They have to protect the Avengers brand because it's all they have left.
Yeah.
And the asterisk of the Thunderbolt means one of them is going to die. And the supposed rumor is this is not even the Thunderbolts. I think the reveal at the end of the film, and this is only speculation, guys. It's not like someone's told me. They might reveal themselves to be the Dark Avengers.
That is correct.
That's what it is for the comic books.
Yeah, that is correct, yes.
But who cares?
Yeah.
But exactly, who does?
Nobody cares. Shall we move on then?
Well, the only one that's not in the cast for Doomsday is the Taskmaster. So,
Taskman.
Gonna die. Oh, good Kerry Lanker, let us down. Oh, God.
Indeed.
I do want to tell Ian real quick. I just watched bits of the movie. I didn't realize it was a takedown of Jordan Peterson. I was curious, so I went to watch some specific scenes from that movie to see what they were doing.
Okay. I'll take it back then.
Thank you.
Take it back.
Okay, here we go then, folks. Tom Hardy says Venom crossover movie with Tom Holland's Spider-Man got as close as I possibly could imagine getting it, apart from doing a film together, which would have been loved to have done because that just means it's so much fun.
Well,
I butchered that.
Hey, what did Zendaya do to her hair? She looks better than usual.
She's brushed her teeth, I think.
Hey, Venom's eyes are closer together than Zegler's. Venom could have played Snow White.
I do like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think he's very good. But
well, he's a good Peter Parker, but as Spider-Man, well, anybody can inhabit the costume. I know what you mean. I still think Tobey Maguire is the absolute goat for that. He really is.
Yeah, he is.
It's time for Spider-Man to grow up, and Holland has the eternal baby face.
Yeah.
And they're getting the same guy that directed Shang-Chi to direct this new Spider-Man film. It's going to be an absolute disaster.
awful. Terrible choice.
Yeah. Maybe he's the only one they accepted. You know, maybe
nobody even wants to talk.
A lot of famous
directors. All their
directors.
movies.
Yeah, they've asked a lot of famous directors to direct their stuff, and everybody's saying no because they don't have any control over it once they sign the contract. So there's no point. I mean, I think Sam Raimi discovered that when he was doing.
I think it's after they screwed over Sam Raimi. Yeah. I think now no one else is interested.
Yeah, why would Hardy make this quote? Is he trying to get this project sort of alive again? It just seems like an odd thing to say. Man, we were so close. We almost did this movie. No, we didn't.
Somebody asked him a question and he answered it. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know if this is the same slide now. I'm questioning myself. Yeah. It is, isn't it? So yeah, it just says a crossover between got close to happening, but the studio politics prevented it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tom Holland might have something to do with that as well, because he said on more than one occasion that he would only make another Spider-Man movie if the story was very good. And I guess the powers that be, and with Sony trying to renew their deal with the character for the next how many years, is probably mitigating factors.
Yeah, I was going to say Sony owns the rights to both of these, so it must be politics outside of Marvel, because it must be an internal Sony thing.
Yeah, but actors don't get it, do they? If they send them a script and they really like it and they sign on, they forget that they can literally change it after they've signed on, which is what happened with Star Wars. It was happened with loads of different movies, and that's why actors got stuck with shit.
Oh yeah,
so there you go. Because I remember reading that him and Zendaya, they loved the next Spider-Man movie. I remember reporting they both read it and they just thought it was the great. And now we hear that Zendaya's hardly in it, so I'm assuming they've literally changed the script.
Yeah, because
again,
she and Tom are making a film for Christopher Nolan, so that might be another scheduling conflict, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, there was that big story about an A-list actress. She had made a horrible movie, and she had to come out after and said that was nothing like the script I agreed to when I signed on. And I think she even maybe tried to do a lawsuit, but I can't remember who it was.
Yikes.
Okay, let's move on then, folks. So that's
brand new day.
Breaking Spider-Man 4 this is from Cinemacon, isn't it? Officially titled.
Terrible title.
These web shooters.
That's a terrible title.
It is. It's awful.
Well, it comes directly from a comic book. So
does it? Okay.
Yeah, the Brand New Day. Yeah, Brand New Day came immediately after.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah, a much reviled comic book art.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, One More Day, which was absolutely hated by a lot of comic readers because.
Why are they going to that comic then? If a lot of people hated it, don't they know a lot? Of
well, they love going to comic books that people hate. That's why they have a Black Captain America now, because they love going to comic books that they hate. People that readers hate.
That's why we have a female Silver Surfer. Same thing.
Exactly.
Kung Fu, you're obviously excited by this.
I'm a Spider-Man fan. I grew up with the guy as a kid, but
but you can't identify with him, can you? Because he's white. You can't identify with him.
Yeah, I want him to be an Indian Spider-Man played by Shah Rukh Khan, because that would be fantastic. And Shah Rukh Khan said many, many years ago, I think it was in the mid-2000s, he wouldn't mind having a crack at being Spider-Man. Back then, I said, you know what? That's actually an interesting idea. I wouldn't mind. If he said that now, he's met with a different kind of opposition altogether.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think this might be the first well, I will say now, it might not do as well as the previous John Watts Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't do well, that's going to be a bit of a telling story for Sony, because Minecraft has now proven you can make the most mediocre film, but people will lap it up. Will the same audience be around whenever this film decides to get made and is released, and the marketing and everything else? What's the reception going to be like? If I'm convinced I can go and watch this film and see Tom Holland reprise his role again, despite the fact he said he wouldn't do it again, we'll see. So I'm 50-50 on this.
Okay, with what you've just said, this should have been Tobey Maguire love letter movie.
Or Andrew Garfield, because everybody thought the next Spider-Man film would have him again because he was so popular from the last collaboration with these other two co-stars, and I wanted him to come back, but for some reason, not happening.
We'll see. Well, I mean, this is I do like Spider-Man, so I've got my fingers crossed on this. I enjoyed the last one, even though it didn't make much sense, but this one hopefully is going to be good. But I'm with Kung Fu here. I think this one's going to be the worst out of the three. It's all heading that way, isn't it?
And
I think so.
And on that bombshell.
Superman.
Hey.
James Gunn's #Superman footage from Cinemacon was debuted online and features an extended look at David Cornball's Man of Steel, Crypto the Superdog, and the Fortress of Solitude and more.
Give me a great story, and I don't really care.
Yeah, this extended preview wasn't bad. I thought it was more interesting than what they had shown us before. Kind of extending that scene where we had with the dog there. Of course, I don't really love the CGI dog hopping around everywhere, but it's fine. We get to see a little bit of him interacting with these robots, although the giggling robot just killed me. That was so stupid. The rest was fine. I didn't really mind the look of his Fortress of Solitude, the look of the robots, everything that's there. I thought this was much more interesting than the little bits that we've gotten before. They also showed at the end of this little preview, they had, a lot of the same shots that they had shown us previously. Some of them had been touched up and changed a little bit, but I don't know. I still really want this film to be good. I do. I still hope that it's going to be good. I don't have any hope for the Marvel stuff. I think it's all going to be garbage.
No.
I was
this.
a little,
I really hope
oh,
it will
sorry.
be. No, I really hope this will be good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was a little concerned when the first thing the robot says is we don't have any emotions, and then they just show the robots completely emotional, jumping around.
He smiled at me.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if they were paying enough attention to detail in the script, but
it is the opening scene apparently. Kung Fu, did you see the 5 minutes?
Yeah, well, actually, I did a 22-minute video on it. Funny enough, I am a James Gunn fan, and he's gotten a lot of shit since he took this project on because everybody from the Snyder universe is still butthurt about this. And I get he's paying an homage to the Christopher Reeve Superman in terms of the costume, but in terms of what I saw, it actually ties into what Chris Gore said on Film Threat. They had a secret screening of the unfinished movie to an audience of 60 people. Someone apparently stood up in the screening that James Gunn and Peter Safran were also attending and said the Fantastic Four film is effed. Now,
That's
was
Gil.
that staged? Is
Oh,
it
that was his.
true?
That
I
was
don't
his
know.
wife.
Probably.
It's
Yeah,
a shill,
probably.
mate. It's a shill.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but-
hot wife.
there
But-
were also a couple of people who really didn't like it, and the people selected for that screening are sort of industry friendly. I don't know. I wouldn't say shit.
I'm
We
going
don't
to
know.
say that I've got some faith in it. I want to go to the cinema again and be like it was with the Peter Jackson original Lord of the Rings, where I came out and I thought, holy shit, this is the reason why I want to go to cinema. I hope this movie brings that feeling back again. If it doesn't do that, well, I guess it's up to you, Megan, too.
Well, James Gunn can tell a story. You got to give him that. Whether
Yes.
he's telling the story we want is a different matter, but I don't think it'll be terrible when you compare it to everything else. And yeah, look at everything the guy's done. But I've also heard that this movie has to be huge for Warner Brothers. Good will not be good enough. So
$1 billion huge, basically. It's cost about 360 million supposedly to make. He's denied that. So even if that is the sum of money in the end, plus marketing, you're probably looking at about what? Half a billion,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then what's going to happen after that point? But it's all shot in IMAX apparently. So if they're going to make a killing at the theaters, IMAX in London Waterloo will be the one to do it.
Mm.
I'm not really.
Yes,
excited about this.
it's a tricky one actually. So all eyes are on it. If it fails, what happens to James Gunn's position at Warner Brothers?
I'm not really feeling it. I hate the idea of a dog. I don't like his costume. I don't think Cornballs looks like Superman at all. They've got no imagination. They've basically copied the Fortress of Solitude from the Superman movie. I don't know why. If they were brave enough to change his costume, why not change the design of the Fortress of Solitude? I know that this stuff was in the comics, but for me, that era didn't work for me. I prefer the OG Superman, the way Superman's meant to be, the costume and everything. Get someone to play him that looks like him. This guy doesn't look like him at all, as far as I'm concerned. But again, like Kung Fu, I want this film to be good. I want to go in the cinema, have a good time, and come out. But I just get the feeling that I am not going to be happy with this film for some reason. No, for every reason, because every clip they've shown does not
that's
excite me
true.
at all. Yeah.
well, I don't think the other fortresses had to come all the way out of the ground every time you open the door
Yeah,
either.
what was
but
that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a little odd.
but there's another, like, Crypto is a white Labrador. Like, I know this dog is James Gunn's dog. He turned Crypto into a rescue pup. And I don't know, like, that kind of also shows a little bit of literal thinking rather than, I don't know. I know some people have a problem with it. I don't care. Give me a good story and you could have it be a cat. I just, I want a good movie. I want a real earnest and sincere Superman movie.
Jimmy Olsen apparently is meant to be quite a developed character in this film, so I'm kind
Is
of
he
looking
ginger?
Hey,
Is he ginger?
I don't think so, but he's played by somebody called Skylar Gizondo. Sounds like a porn star name. But the thing with his character is he's such a ladies' man in that all the girls in the office like him, but he doesn't understand why they do. So that's what I've heard. Well, apparently he's quite a fleshed out character, which is good. He gets underused quite a lot, so we'll see what they do with him.
Is that another self-insert? I wonder.
Who knows?
Apparently, the story is a week in the life of Superman. So I'm assuming everything's fleshed out in the background, if you know what I mean.
So he's just going to be waiting for the next MobLand episode to come out.
Do you know what? I don't think he's going to save Lois Lane in this film because women cannot be saved by men in any film that comes out now. So Lois Lane's not going to be saved by him. So there you go.
That's a pretty fair bet. I'd also say there's not a chance in hell he's going to say anything about standing for truth, justice, and the American way. Not going to happen.
No,
didn't Chris Gore say they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they did say that actually.
Yeah, but Chris Gore liked Daredevil, so come on.
I'll believe it when I see it on screen.
He's still recovering from a stroke, so I'll let him off.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about his opinion. He said that somebody came out and said that they did go with truth, justice, and the American.
I will believe it when I see it on screen.
That's fair.
It's really funny, right? Because if you look at the trailers, I don't know, let's go back to the 78 Superman. He's, the first clips I saw when he lands and he spins through and he spins down to the pavement and all that and other stuff. And then when we see clips from this, it's him in the ground blooded, him dragging by his dog, him putting his boots on, him looking like weird with a curly hair and stuff. You know what I mean? For me, it just does not feel right. It's like, I don't know, Hollywood's on its way to actually, I don't know, destroy everything that we love. This film does not feel right at all.
Chris Gore like She-Hulk. The thing is, if you put out a good trailer, you might end up getting a bad film. And I think what Warner Brothers are doing is the complete opposite. I think that's the gamble they're going with.
Shit marketing.
I don't know. You might be right. As I said, right, everybody remember what I say. I want this film to be good. I really do. And I do like James Gunn, but I got everything they've shown us so far. I have every reason to believe it's not. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Well, they have not earned the benefit of the doubt. But Gunn, I think Gunn gets a little bit, but actually Creature Commandos sort of had me a little concerned too.
Okay. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Okay.
Nope.
Shall we? I've had to reset my.
Yes.
Shall we move on then, folks?
Yes.
It's a 50-50 Superman, 50-50 at the moment. Lots of 50-50s around.
Yeah, more 50-50 than
Supergirl, the she,
Millie
they,
Alcock
him.
on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow sets in theaters, cinemas.
I'm sorry.
June, or is it Dune? 26.
I'm sorry. She does not look.
Helen Slater, we still love you.
We still
Yeah,
love
you should have put a picture of Helen Slater up next to her.
Seriously.
She
There
looks
are
like
thousands of actresses out there, good-looking actresses with all the bumps in the right places. And what do? They get this because Hollywood does not want us to have nice things.
right. She looks like she's 13 years old and also like an angry, unhinged
Weird.
That's
person
why.
on TikTok ranting about Trump. Like,
And for her sins,
Yeah,
from Australia.
this doesn't look good. I thought she was fine in Game of Thrones, but this is awful. I don't know what this is.
See, and I bet you any money, right? See, because do you remember? Was it Melissa Benoist? Played Supergirl in the TV show.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, and she was good, and also they had the right costume. Then halfway through, they gave her a onesie. Do you know what I mean? Because they didn't want us to see her legs for some reason.
And they made
You know what I
her
mean?
haircut look
Big.
weird. They made her look from like young lady that looks pretty nice. They transformed her into like not so nice looking older aunt.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
I
right.
always thought she looked more like a substitute teacher than Supergirl
know,
anyway.
But that's why it worked, because she looked so cute and she looks like she couldn't do anything. That's why it worked, in my opinion.
Here you go, folks. Binary Rad. She is holding the worst Supergirl comic book.
And why we are not surprised. We are not surprised. Why we were not surprised, because this is what they're going to the comics that that the fans hate for some reason. No, actually, for every reason. So
Yeah.
God, Helen Slater, come back, sweetheart. Helen Slater was gorgeous. I don't know. This girl just gives me the creeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want
to?
Do you want them to base it on beloved material and have them screw that up?
No, I want them to do it properly, based on beloved material, and do it properly. That's what I want.
I do want to say
Oh no!
I met Helen.
Common.
I didn't go out on a date.
Oh shit.
I didn't go out on a date with her, but I like Headland. But I did meet Helen Slater about 10 years ago at a convention, and she still looks phenomenally gorgeous. No plastic
She was in
surgery.
Smallville as well.
Yeah, she just and in
For
person.
the record, I wouldn't call that a date. I was sitting at a bar, but okay.
I'm just yanking your chain, but no, and she was the nicest, sweetest, kindest person. She gave her time to everybody. She was still incredibly flattered.
Yeah.
And she
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, mate. Go on.
She said, I'm glad I did that nude scene when I was young, because I'm never going to look that good again. And I'm like, well,
how comes, right, they don't know how to cast in these films? They're deliberately trying to take the good-looking things of actors out of our movies.
Ugly people don't get offended. For fuck's sake,
it's stupid. It really is stupid, because people are basic, aren't they? We just want the basic nice things. That's what we want.
They haven't cast me yet, and if I want to see ugly, I just go to the mirror.
I mean, look who they cast as Superman's dad, the Earth Dad, for God's sake. Someone that probably hasn't seen his Willie in years.
Oh no,
that's so big.
I like him. He's a good actor.
He is a good actor, but he looks creepy. Have you not seen him in you've not seen him in The Mentalist? He was in The Mentalist.
Yes, I saw him
funny
in
eye.
season 2 of The Walking Dead, and Shane throws him to the zombies at the end.
Exactly. Look, that is not the right person to play Pa Kent. I'm sorry. This is not the right person to play Supergirl at all.
Yeah, we want the 80s version of Hollywood where even the homeless people looked really good.
Absolutely.
Please.
That era.
Please.
God, this picture is giving me the creeps, man.
Please.
Holy shit.
And on that bombshell. On Boomerang.
Oh.
Anthony Starr teases The Boys series finale. Fans are going to be either surprised or shocked, depending on their nervous system.
God,
But very sad.
It's
He's
a
gonna
ton.
kill everyone. That's the ending. He's going to kill everyone.
No,
the show is dead already.
Oh, is it?
No, the show is dead. Not
yeah. Go on, Kung Fu. Your thoughts?
Oh,
Yeah, I like the first 2 seasons because it's Eric Kripke who wrote the first 5 seasons of Supernatural.
Yeah.
Then he came onto this show and became an absolute wokey dokey thanks to Seth Rogen. That's it. So I love Anthony Starr in this role. I think he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
Obviously, he'll always be Sheriff Lucas Hood to me from Banshee. But apart from that, I'm not sure how I feel about this.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of gay sex, and nobody's going to be surprised.
They went off the comics.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
Of course they did.
Well, they got to get all their modern day politics squeezed in there. I couldn't care less. I'm not gonna. I'm done watching this show. I'm not coming back even for a finale.
Should have finished that season 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it should.
No. If they'd have, I disagree. If it was written well, but season 2 was just feelings on park benches. It's like
that's true.
Off.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it should have finished that season 2. It didn't need any more of that shit.
Yeah, I only liked the first season. And
3 was marginally better. Then 4, it just went for a complete Trump.
In season
Boring.
3, how is Jensen Ackles? Is he good in it, or is he just being Dean Winchester from Supernatural again?
The latter.
Oh, really? Oh, disappointing.
Yeah, it's the last time I stopped watching it after that.
Oh,
Didn't watch
okay.
anymore.
Thanks for letting me know. Damn.
Sure.
Okay.
Damn you.
Damn you!
Move along. Oh, hello.
Speaking of, here you go.
You're
Michael Mann
kidding.
says he just finished the script for Heat 2 and that he has handed it into Warner Brothers.
Heat 2, they're on the take. Jeez,
Any more than
really?
that, I can't talk about it, but it's an exciting project.
Well, you can't have Robert De Niro's dead, so you can't have him in it. And what's
Kilmer's
his
just
name?
died.
Kilmer's died,
What
and
do you
also,
got? What do you got? She got a big ass.
and you can't have him because he's ready to drop as well. That fella, isn't
Oh, he
he?
is.
So yeah. So
Oh, Drew,
you know,
that's
who's in
a
this film.
Drew Gordon says Heat 2 reheated. That's a good one. It's literally reheated leftovers.
And I still love LA Takedown with Scott Plank, the original.
Oh,
Heat.
the
The
original.
original one.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that film.
Yeah, it's okay. I preferred Heat though. I thought Heat's a
But yeah,
powerhouse
he's
of a
obviously
movie.
big budgeted and it's got the for that incredible gunfight in downtown
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
Saw it
It's
at
a
a
good
cinema
film.
hall originally, so I was happy about that.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
When was the last time you heard a beloved movie of yours was getting a sequel and you were excited about it rather than terrified?
Star Wars.
Oh, that's a great question. Holy shit.
Star Wars, the last one. When I heard Empire Strikes Back was being made, I was like, yes. Gotta
I
see
think
that.
we had some decent sequels since then, but
Heat 2 carbon neutral.
I don't know. I mean, I do like Michael Mann. I think Michael Mann's a very talented filmmaker. He does miss it sometimes, especially with what was that stupid one he made? Based on
Keep.
the TV show. No, based
Oh.
on the Miami Vice. That was awful. That
No,
one.
the TV
Yeah,
show will
that
always be the
wasn't good.
best. I did
Yeah.
not like the film. That film was a troubled production, by the way.
Mm.
Yeah,
It got shot on VHS.
I
didn't it?
also don't think Colin Farrell was right for the role.
He wasn't.
No.
He wasn't.
No.
You needed somebody that was a lot more American. With all due respect to Colin Farrell, a lot of times he tries to do different American accents, and honestly, I think he's a good actor, but they don't always work. In Penguin, I thought he did well. Whatever he did in Miami Vice, he felt like he was never in the right place. Like he just felt very awkward in that movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Mr. Kung Fu Hot Dog, World of Swap Shop Wrench, by the way,
What?
is your biggest fan.
Mm.
Well, thank you, Mr. Welder Swap Shop. That's a Noel Edmonds reference.
It is
Yes.
your biggest fan.
And a Dickie Davis one.
Nice
as
to have
well.
you on board, dude. And thank you for being a fan. You might be my only one, actually.
Okay. So, again, it's not needed, but is it going to work? Yes or no? I don't know.
I
The
think
thing is,
man has lost his pizzazz a little bit.
no, I think that the time to for well-known directors making movies for the theater is gone now. I think it's all going to be content now. It's all going to be
Yeah.
on.
Wouldn't this
yeah.
be better as a TV
I generally
series?
agree with you, but even if I just looked at this specific one, he's old, they're old, let it go. Like if you wanted to make
Yeah.
this
Let it
movie, the
go,
time
let
to
it
make it
go.
was years ago. Now there's
Yeah.
nothing to do, and it's stupid. Like just leave it alone.
Also, what makes me feel sad as a filmmaker myself is the art of filmmaking is
Mhm.
slowly disappearing. Everything I see now, the new stuff on streaming platforms,
Yeah.
they're really awful, really badly directed
Yeah.
and stuff. You know, I think the last show that was really well directed was was
Rebecca
that Ben
Gold.
Stiller? But no, yeah, Ben Stiller one, wasn't it? The what is it? The it's gone out of my head now. What was that TV show with the split personality thing? What's it
Severance.
called? Severance, yeah. I think that was the
Jesus.
last well directed.
Here you go, folks. Sister Phobos, Wrench, Will Spot, $2. Thank you, my friend. For me, it was 2011, The Thing prequel,
Mhm.
Be Afraid Now.
Mm.
Ista also generously gifted a membership. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, I tell you what, it's not a film, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer is coming back, and I don't want them to do it. The original
no,
series
no,
and the better
no.
spin-off Angel were brilliant. Don't do it, but Sarah Michelle Gellar hasn't had a gig for years. She's going to come back, and the rest is going to be her story.
Well,
I
she's
feel
going to be the Giles character, isn't she? To the new Buffy, isn't she? The new
Oh, God.
Slayer. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I have the same fear about Stargate every time they talk about
Oh, no.
cranking that
Don't,
back up
no,
again.
please don't. I love the original
yeah.
series. I've got them all.
Yeah, Stargate's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they tried that Stargate. Was it Stargate Origins?
Oh, that
I
was
think it's-
an abomination.
Oh my god, that was bad.
Oh,
They basically retconned the entire 3 shows of
Yeah.
television to make it a girl boss thing.
It
It
was,
was started by a
absurdly
girl
bad.
boss in reaction to a girl boss.
God.
But if they do
Talk about
it,
desecration.
if they do it, they'll have an episode where everybody's singing, because that seems to be that's in these days, isn't it? Have an episode
Well,
where
that's-
everybody
that's-
sings.
Every show writer and every showrunner thinks that they need to make the next Buffy. Every one of them thinks that Buffy the Vampire Slayer is the greatest thing that's ever happened, and then they want their show to be Buffy, and so they write it with the quippy dialogue, and they write in the musical episodes, and they write in the, all these little gimmicky episodes.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Which
Yeah,
is why, go on, carry on.
I just realized that that's people making TV and movies. They think they're making it for an entire audience of theater kids. They think the world is made up of theater kids. That pretty much explains it.
Well,
Okay.
Which is why I love Stargate so much, the TV show, because I think it was seasons 8 to 10 when you had Ben Browder and Claudia Black.
not quite the same.
And you remember them from Farscape. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the show producers and everybody else understanding what geekdom is all about.
yeah,
Bring these guys in, and suddenly you've got a brand new audience.
yeah.
So when I start going through this series again, and I get to season 8 or 9 when they come in, I think it's from season 8. It's going to be, I'm just going to be geek. I'm going to be spasming all over the place. Oh, Claudia Black had that effect on me.
Oh, yeah.
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 She'll do that.
Farscape was a banger, man.
Yeah.
I
It's really
loved
a show.
that show.
Okay. You've got a choice. Do we finish at 2 or 2 hours 30?
2 hours 30, I think, would be good. But
Yeah.
Cool.
Good with me.
Probably knock it
Price?
off at 12:20.
I have to go, actually.
Is this where we say goodbye then, my friend?
Yes. Unfortunately,
He's
I'm
got
going
a
to have to
date.
bow out. But
Hello,
thank
darkness,
you for
my
having
old
me on as
friend.
usual. And thank you to the chat and to everybody here. And it was nice meeting you, Kung Fu. And,
Likewise, Price no reason. Likewise.
And I'll see you guys soon, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
say hello to
Headland.
Headley.
Right now, I'm going to run and say hello to her.
And Jane Seymour, don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
Jane Seymour is a better
Seymour.
story, even though that one didn't end well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I'll see you guys later.
Price,
Have
take care. Thank you, my
Ta-da.
friend.
Bye.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye.
Oh, thank fuck for that. Okay.
Never liked him.
Okay. That's Heat 2, Electric Boogaloo, everybody.
Arrgh.
Zack Snyder is set to direct a KFC movie Dana White will produce with the UFC with Turkey also
Al-Asik?
produced.
Yeah. Maybe.
Follows a young fighter rising from the rough streets of LA to get a shot at a UFC championship.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you heard that, that was just me banging my head against the desk.
Yeah, same here.
Ah.
Not interested. Not interested.
If this was Zack Snyder 2004, before he did Dawn of the Dead, which he wrote with James Gunn, funny enough, I would say, yeah, awesome. But yeah, directors of a certain platitude who start off promising, then they go downhill afterwards. I thought when Zack Snyder came out, he's going to be the next James Cameron, like he was back in his early days of his career. When Tim Miller did it with Deadpool, I was wrong then. So what's this guy doing now? He's just circle jerking all over the place.
It's
It's because he doesn't know
What
how
did
to
you
write.
say?
it's just
It's because he doesn't know how to write, and that's the
No.
problem with this director. That he only knows how to direct. He's not a very good storyteller. He should work with people that are good at writing stories, and
Dana
then he will
White,
do
of all
something.
people, who
Yeah.
I like, but are you sure the Dana White's got different ideologies to Zach? I don't
Yeah,
know if that's going to meld.
It's going to take 6 hours to do a UFC bout in slow motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Well,
would they
you
be
know.
like 18-minute rounds?
Do you know what he turned
Thinking on
up
straight.
without any reason? He turned up at Forbidden Planet in Oxford Street. One point, my friend
Oh,
saw him
yeah,
and took
yeah.
a picture of him. He was just looking at the toys, and nobody recognized him apart from my friend.
Wow.
But there you go. Yeah.
Thing.
Just, I just see the,
Good
I
answer.
just see Snyder attached, and I have no interest whatsoever.
And you watched Dawn of the Dead from 2004, and you think that man was on absolute fire. Then, of course, you had 300.
300.
Incredible.
Watchmen was good.
Why? Yeah, I see. I even enjoyed Watchmen. It's not the greatest,
Yeah,
you know,
folks.
superhero movie. But
Tenacious D. Ick at Kung Fu. You are more right about the circle jerk than you realise. So
Oh,
supposedly
no.
there are
That was
guys
a
that
bad
stand in the-
guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
oh, God.
Okay,
luck
so
to
that's the Zack Snyder KFC movie, everybody.
Good luck to him. That's all I can say.
Oh, I was thinking about this show today, funny enough. Cobra Kai. I watched it back in the day when it was a YouTube series.
Yeah, I picked
Yeah.
up on that when nobody was watching it.
With the YouTube logo, not
Yeah,
with
when
Netflix.
Yeah, when
And I
nobody
said
was
that, I
watching
thought,
it, yeah.
does nobody know this is going to be a hit?
I did.
Obviously,
I was
Netflix
watching
did.
it. I was watching it.
Yeah.
This is going to
I've got
be
them all saved
strange,
on my hard
isn't it?
drive.
This Karate Kid Legends is going to be strange because I for the life of me, I don't know what they're going to do with this. He goes to teach a kid that already knows Kung Fu.
Ben Wang.
Yeah, it doesn't make. And also, right, the whole idea of Karate Kid is that you got someone that, you know, that looks like he's the underdog. This guy in the trailer, he looks like he can kick ass.
Yes.
Day one. doesn't he?
Tenacious
So-
Dick is correct because all Ralph Macchio is doing now is Mr. Miyagi Part 2.
Yeah.
You can never be Pat Morita, but that's what he's going to fulfill, which I understand. And again, as you pointed out, well, if the kid already knows Kung Fu like the Matrix, then what the hell is he going for? Is Jackie Chan in this film?
Yes, he is.
yes.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. But
I might go and watch it because I like martial arts films, not because of my channel's called Kung Fu Hot Dog, but I do like them.
I will watch it.
I think it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
You enjoyed Cobra Kai Kung Fu, yeah?
I love it. Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Have you watched all of it?
I've got I think the series on Netflix at the moment, I'm thinking I'm on episode 4, so I've got to watch the rest of it, and then that's it. Has it been good?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Good.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
You
It
will
wrapped
not be
up-
disappointed.
Wrapped up brilliantly.
Good.
Okay, just for today, how many sequels, prequels, reboots, and reimaginings have we covered just on
Too
today's
many.
stream? Yeah.
That's all Hollywood makes anymore.
It's hard though. Even in the YouTube sphere, everybody's just making fan films. It's not like the fans know any better either. Everybody's just making fan films. Nobody's making something that's original.
Because
You're
the
making
fan
a-
films are made on a smaller budget, they're more imaginative, and
Yeah,
they're generally
exactly.
better received.
Yes, exactly.
I hear about this guy making an original film called Rebecca Gold. It's pretty
Yeah,
damn
right.
good.
We'll see. It might be shit. You never know. There you go.
The first one was really good, dude. It's not shit.
Oh, good. Thank you.
And I watched your prelude. You know,
Yeah.
you really kind of with production values. You cut
Ian
it up
dropped
a
a
little.
Ian dropped a new clip. Can one of my mods pop the new clip of Rebecca Gold in the chat, please?
It's nice for you
Okay.
guys to say it, but I wish I had the fan base
200,000.
that drinker had. That
Yeah.
drinker has.
Okay.
Put it that way.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Shall we move on then?
Yes, please.
Not
How
long
old
to
is
wait.
Ralph Macchio, by the way?
61.
He looks great for 61. Come on, doesn't he? Don't you think, guys? He looks terrific.
Yeah.
He's got that Karate Kid money
It's
to.
the Hawaiian blood. Okay. May 30th for that, folks. Cheers, Donny. I just thought I'd pop this in. Happy birthday to legendary makeup artiste Rob Bottin, known for his work on such films as The Howling, The Thing, Fog, and so much more.
He Rob Bottin, right? He got screwed, didn't he? Because he was the very first person to create the werewolf when it changed from a guy, because it was Howling that did the effects first, but it was only American Werewolf in London that beat them to the
Rick
punch.
Baker. Oh man.
Yeah. So,
Shit.
but it was Rob Bottin that actually did it first. So
I never got the credit. Damn.
well, he got the credit for Howling, but what I'm saying is that he wasn't noticed as the first person did it.
Yeah,
to
I
do
see
it.
what you mean. Yeah. That's a shame.
It is. He's a really good artist, actually. Rob Bottin. In fact, I think the best one is Dick Smith. Dick Smith is the best out of all of them because he was the first, wasn't he? Did the makeup stuff for The Exorcist, and special makeup effects changed from that point on, and then you got these guys because of Dick Smith. So there you go.
The thing is just incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
When they first started using CGI and augmented computer effects, it was the people who did the practical effects that were training on the stuff. So they understood how stuff worked, how it should look, and how it happens. And, as we go further along in time, the people doing the CGI have absolutely no connection with the old school way it works. And that's why it's getting worse.
Yep.
Well, CGI is the reason why films gets more expensive now. So is it John? What's the John something from Mars? What was the film?
John Carter.
John Carter.
Yeah. That film would have been a lot less expensive if they dropped all the special effects, all the computerized stuff. If they made it practical, it would have cost less.
Yeah, but it's going to be cheaper now because of AI. Because you can do what's on AI that then what they do on CGI. So
Atom Gray, Wrench, Will Spot. Oh, Atom. He was 20 when he did the thing. That is insane. Yeah, nearly killed him as well.
He went to the hospital, didn't he?
Double pneumonia.
Yeah,
really? Yikes.
Yeah,
he was only 14 when he started apprenticing with Rick Baker.
Rick Baker, yeah.
He
Rick Baker's a legend.
He just disappeared, didn't he, Rob Bottin?
Well, he's done a lot of stuff. Or has he?
No, he just disappeared into the ether.
Yeah, I think the last thing he did was some stuff on Game of Thrones.
Oh, right. Wow. Would have got a good payday for that then.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's got plenty of money from some of his previous work.
Fangoria, God, I remember that magazine back in the day. Jesus, never a top shelf mag, if you know what I mean.
That and Starlog, though, I got them both, man. That was fun.
Starburst and Starlog.
Yes,
every week.
Absolutely.
Razzle.
That's you.
Okay. Moving on.
So
First look at the Beatles cast together. Harry Dickinson as John Lennon, Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, Barry Ian as Ringo Starr, Joseph Quinn as George Harrison.
That's Johnny Storm, isn't it, from the Fantastic Four film? Joe Quinn.
Yeah.
Who's the director of this? Anybody know?
Somebody famous.
They're going to make 4 feature-length films and release them all at the same time. Yeah, but they're going to release them all at the same time. They have a chance to make cinematic history one way or the other.
Somebody famous. Come on, help me. Chat. Who's directing?
I don't think they've been announced yet.
No, it's been announced. They've been talking about it.
Or is it Sam Mendes or something?
Oh, no, it is him. It is him. Yeah, beg your pardon. It is him. Yeah, well done. Yes.
So they must have paid a fortune to get the rights to the music for this film because, that's the reason why they haven't made a Beatles film because they couldn't get the rights. They must have literally paid a lot of money to get the rights to the music.
Multiverse.
And are they going to use AI to create new Beatles music, I wonder? It's a way to capitalize on everything. I would do that.
The guy playing Ringo looks more like John Lennon to me, but they can't. They're not really in. I don't want to judge too early, but when I first looked at the picture, I was a little disappointed. But I realized that's not how they're going to look necessarily.
Yes, very good.
Yep.
I've always wanted to make a Beatles film because I'm a huge fan of the Beatles, but I think it's a stupid idea to make 4 parts to it. And also, I'd never cast these people. I'll try and find someone that actually looked like them.
Is Aquafina going to play Yoko?
Yeah. I don't know.
Jesus
She
Christ.
sings like her. She's
gonna come in and convince John Lennon
And-
to start saying squawk squawk.
That's a good question, by the way. Can these guys actually sing? Because that's got to be a prerequisite.
They don't
right?
have to. They don't have to.
Eh.
They just mime to it. Look, it's not important, right? Probably the best a film that was made by someone that about a singer was Ray Charles. Two reasons.
Okay,
One,
yeah.
because he looked
Jamie Foxx,
looked
yeah.
really like him, and
Oh, was that Jamie
his-
Foxx?
Yeah, and his impression of him was spot on.
Mm.
Spot on. And it was a good film, as far as
Rocket Man was good.
no, that was terrible.
It's all
What's
right.
his name was trying to sing like Elton John.
Taron
It sounded
Egerton,
awful,
yeah.
yeah. These people don't need to learn how to sing. All they need to do is learn how to mime. That's all they need to do.
Punchable Face wrenched. Meghan Markle will play.
Ooh.
Which is why the Sacha Baron Cohen Queen
Yes.
movie about Freddie Mercury is the
Yes.
one I wanted to see,
So
because that
did
would
I.
have been a lot more R-rated, not the Rami Malek, Mr. Robot, Hello Friend sanitized version, because Brian May from Queen was overseeing that. No thanks.
Walk the Line's a great movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Meghan Markle will insist on also playing all of the Beatles. So I'm not sure they're gonna.
No, you're right about that. I mean, again, right. I don't think they should just concentrate on one movie, please. Just one. Make sure you get it right. Ah.
Yeah, if this bombs, they have 4 phenomenal high-budget simultaneous bombs.
Yeah, if they're going to put them all out at the same time, there's a good chance they are going to be, sabotaging their own box office.
Do you know
Because-
what? If I was in charge of this, what I would do is I'd ask Paul McCartney to accompany me all the way through it, and ask him, what did this really happen? Where were you? Do you know what I mean? He should be there every day,
Consultant.
trying to consult on what actually happened. Because him and what's his name, Ringo, they should be both there.
Yeah,
I hope
because
they're both there.
Sam Mendes went to the Cavern Club this week, didn't he, to
Oh, okay.
do principal photography? So yeah.
Well, Price and I are both huge Beatle fans, but for any
So am
Beatle
I.
fans out there, they already have 9 hours of Peter Jackson, real documentary footage. I've seen that.
Yeah.
On Disney
That
Plus,
is
yeah. I watched
amazing.
that.
There you
Yeah, it's
go. Sorry, boomerang. Ray Wrench was
Yeah.
Peter Jackson.
Straight up, Adam. Straight up.
I tell you what's incredible is in that documentary is when Paul McCartney was creating one of the famous songs, and you can see him going through it and stuff. That was amazing. That was part of history. I think it was. I can't remember what song he was making, but just to see someone in the beginning of creating a song, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah, the insight into their creative process, and to
Yeah.
see how just a bunch of really sort of vague or cocktail napkin ideas turn into masterpieces across 2 weeks. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, quick question: how did Peter Jackson have all this footage of that wasn't seen before by the public? How did he find it all?
I think he blackmailed someone. I don't know, but he got hold of it and he did some magic on it with visual effects and stuff like that. And it looked fantastic. It looked great.
What's
So,
that called again?
I think it's AI. I don't know what he used. I don't know what
No, I
he
mean,
did.
what's the movie? What's the Jackson program called again?
Oh,
Get Back, was it?
Get
Back,
back, yeah.
Okay. Right, okay. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Yes, yes. Good. I'm glad we got to this one.
See, Tom Cruise, everybody. Mr. Cruise, sorry. Seeing a movie on the big screen can change lives. The cultural impacts of movie theatres cinema can't be matched. The story of cinema theatre is an iconic one, but it's only just begun. Mr. Tom Cruise in a speech about movie theatres, cinemas, blah, 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 Cinemacon.
I think he's wrong, though. I think cinema is definitely going to die out. You're talking about a generation that don't give a shit about cinema, and that's the next generation that's coming up. We care about it, but we're all going to die out soon.
Yeah,
So-
unfortunately, I think you're right. I think you're right, Mega Geek.
Yeah.
Go on and Kung Fu thoughts.
Yeah. So, at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned Paramount, And obviously, Tom has a very close relationship with that film company. So the reason why he says this, because Paramount obviously are just churning out movies that are trying to entice people back into the cinema.
Yeah.
This will be the last time he plays Ethan Hunt in the final Mission Impossible film that comes out this summer. His successor is going to be Glenn Powell to play Ethan Hunt. So I hope Mr. Powell is ready to do his own stunts. And Glenn Powell is coming up in a remake or a retread that's going to be true to the source material of The Running Man.
Yeah.
And they should drop a trailer hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So this is why Tom Cruise is saying all of this stuff, because Tom Cruise is basically the Sherlock Holmes of cinema. What I mean by that is that he's not afraid of death or doing anything. He's like Harold Lloyd and all these crazy stuntmen and actors back in their day. He's like the American version of Jackie Chan. So he does these things for real because he wants audiences to go along and see them. And I think he's kind of training people like Glenn Powell to take his place when he can no longer do it.
But he's not going to be playing. Is he going to be playing Ethan Hunt, or is he going to be playing another?
This is last one.
No, he says that he'll. Well, that's a good question because we don't know how this final mission will actually end. If Ethan dies, or is led to believe he's meant to be dying off, we don't know.
They're going to do a Dark Knight Rises thing where he makes a heroic sacrifice, and then a little bit later we see, look, actually there he is at the cafe. He's not. But of course,
Eli Morales plays the AI villain in it, doesn't he? So they could do anything with that to fool you. So who knows? But I think he says this because he probably has seen the roster of stuff that Paramount is doing in the next few years that could be absolute gangbusters. And that's only speculation. But, they said Paramount had the best presentation at CinemaCon last week. And I'm going to believe that, actually, more than Warner Brothers and Universal were the runners-up, apparently.
Well, Tom Cruise also just loves cinema. I don't really think he necessarily needs a straight motivation. I mean, he just loves movies, making movies. He loves, people watching them. So, this is just a little bit of him being him. But I wonder, didn't they say the same thing about live theaters when the talkies first came out? Yeah, no. I meant when movies first started, people say the theaters are what's important, live plays, sort of thing. I think we're hitting an evolution. It's just stuff's going to change.
Well, I think theaters are still important because you need agents to walk in and see who they're going to cast for their next big film project. So you will need theaters always to be there. I know what you mean, though.
No, not really, because
they
can just watch their TV and watch it. Do you know what I mean? I think cinemas will eventually, like Cineworld, they're all going to die out because nobody's going to.
I hope you're wrong.
And I hope I'm wrong as well. But the evidence is all there. This generation of people, cinema, they don't really care about it. Do you know what I mean? They're all on TikTok and watching content on TV and stuff like that. And that's what's happening.
Yeah, that's true. What he just said there. Oh God, I
forgot about that. Z3PO Wrenchwell Spot. Hello, Z. Tom Cruise loved The Flash so much that he called director Andy Nunchuck for 15 minutes just to rave about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Again, right? I think cinema is
subjective.
It's going to end up being one of those like theater. Do you know what I mean?
But for the record, I don't believe that happened.
I hope not. But I can see it coming. I don't want it to happen.
Just stop going straight to streaming so fast. 6 month minimum.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it's easier for people to watch films on TV. I know a bunch of people that won't go to
in
cinema
6 months' time.
And they would rather wait to buy it off Amazon to watch rather than literally take the experience.
What, 6 months?
To the cinema. Sorry?
Yeah. They've got so much other content pouring into their device every single minute. They don't care about the movie that came out this weekend. It's just, the truth. They just don't. And they'll watch it when it's available to them in the service that they already have and whatever. And, unless it's a particular film that's got really big buzz, Barbenheimer, whatever, they're not going to bother. They're not going to bother.
Movies are event things now. I think he probably called up Muschietti for 30 seconds and said, "Nice try, dude."
Okay. Kung Fu, it frustrates you, doesn't it, all this?
Yes, it does. And, when I log onto YouTube and I see a video that says 15 exciting Netflix films you forgot about, and here they are, I'm thinking, hey, you know what? I might stick around and see what this is all about. Because Netflix, as you guys know, could have been Blockbuster's very own streaming service. They turned it down. But then also, Netflix used to be, you rent a DVD from them before it became a content creation service.
Right.
So I want cinemas to still go for a while, but it all depends if Paramount and Universal, maybe Warner Brothers trails in the third, starts to understand that they will be out of a job if they don't fill theaters with great movies and the experience of going back again. So you've got that wishy-washy effect that needs to be sorted out.
Gets it. Mr. Cruz.
But as I said,
Yeah.
it's bigger. All this is bigger than that, right? You have this horrible virus that's spreading through the world right now, and I'll just call it woke. And it's spread through the world, and it's in Hollywood, and it's deep into Hollywood. So, if you're expecting something to turn around really fast, then I don't think it
Remove
is.
the activists and then bring people who know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
And
well, I hope so.
And remember, Amazon used to be a place where I would just order cheap and somewhat dangerous Chinese sex toys from, and now they have become also a content creator. But as far as getting good people back in, I don't know if there are I think we've lost a bunch of institutional knowledge and competence.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure unless you bring the old guys back in to mentor, and some of them won't come back. I'm not sure there are enough good people to bring in to do it correctly.
But what I'm saying is that the art of filmmaking is slowly disappearing. The new breed of directors, they haven't got a clue of what art is in film.
Exactly.
So,
Well, where's your Steven
what are we gonna get?
Spielbergs? Where's your Martin Scorsese's?
Exactly.
Your George Lucas's? Right? You're not going to get those guys again. You're not going to get those directors in the 70s going to each other's houses and watching a thing called Star Wars. Francis, do you know what this is? I have no idea. But yeah,
Here you go, folks.
I have no idea at all.
Tenacious Dick. That's what happens when you fire all the white guys, bro.
Absolutely.
This is what happened with Imagineering at Disney. They came in and started putting all of these people in positions who hadn't earned it, and a bunch of the making it really uncomfortable and pushing out all of the guys who've been around building all of this Imagineering stuff for Disney for the past 40 years, and they're gone and they're not coming back.
Look at
it's falling apart.
Yeah, we traded up Steven Spielberg for J.J. Abrams. That is not a fair trade.
As I was saying, right, look at what won the Oscars. As any of those films, have you seen any of those films? Do you want to see any of those films? No one wants to see it.
Oh, that was a joke. It was just
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was rubbish. It was shit.
Sidestep.
Oh, Tom Cruise looks old. No, he doesn't. He looks young.
I think he's 60. Yeah. Hashtag Mission Impossible star Tom Cruise takes the hashtag Cinemacon stage in honor of friend Val Kilmer. He asks the audience.
That's on YouTube. You can watch on YouTube.
To take a moment of silence to think about all the wonderful times we had with him. He closes, "Thank you, Val. I wish you well on your next journey."
Yeah, to the planet Xenu, because that's what he thinks.
I have to go now.
So do I.
Yeah, no, I do like Tom Cruise. I think he's a brilliant filmmaker and brilliant act. Well, he can act that way. I just what he does. So
I genuinely hope this Mission Impossible
so do I.
deserves to be a success.
The last one wasn't too good. It was all right. It wasn't great.
Oh, it got sideswiped by the COVID, didn't it? So, okay.
Yeah. They had to change the entire nature of the plot, right?
Yeah, the ending. Yeah.
No, not just the ending. It was going to be a real virus and not a computer virus originally.
Damn it. Yeah, Fallout is amazing.
Yeah, that is a great film.
That smile says, "I'm a billionaire." That's what it says. It's like
no, it's just.
I
think he's just pleased. He's just enjoying the ride. He's just pleased. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to figure out actors.
It's like,
these
no,
days, isn't it?
Paramount doesn't pay for my insurance when I do my own stunts. I pay for it myself.
Yeah.
That's what he literally does.
Well, that's that story you told Matt Damon, isn't it? Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
You remember that story where he was saying,
Damon.
"How do you do all those stunts?" And he said, "Well, what about the what is it? What about the stunt guys?" And he said, "Well, the stunt guy told me I couldn't do it, so I fired him and hired another stunt guy." I remember that. That's quite funny. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay, we didn't have insurance. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to quickly just say we've got a GoFundMe pin message for one of our own, Jacob Ironside. If you could just, after the show, click the link, just have a read, and then make your own decision about if you want to donate or not. But Jacob is in need, is one of the OGs of this channel. So if you could just have a look afterwards, folks, that'd be great. Okay.
Mr. Brown, I have to leave you, sir.
Okay, well, we're nearly finished, mate.
Oh, okay. I'll just stick around. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
5
do
minutes.
the
Are
bin.
you okay for 5 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah,
5 minutes?
I am.
Okay. Let's go straight to the bin then.
Is it
No.
This
Okay.
is it Daisy?
Get
Is
in
it
the bin.
Is it
Better.
Greta?
Is it
How dare
Greta?
you. How dare
better.
you. Okay.
Multi-millionaire Greta.
Okay.
Better.
We'll go straight to this. Here we go. Yeah, $18 million. Who saw this?
Oh God, Brown.
What?
God.
Only Star wants to beat her own record.
Beat
by
off.
2,000 men in 24
Jesus.
hours.
God, stop giving this woman attention. That's all she wants. She just
Well,
wants
she's only going to
attention.
get it 2,000 times.
I
She's
pity.
making money though, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
cool.
you know who wants to stop giving her attention? The other one was it Lily.
Savage.
What's her name?
No,
The other one.
The one that just started up with 100 and said she wanted to do 1,000, and now this girl, her friend, supposedly says, "Oh, I already did 1,000. I'm going for 2." Like,
Here you go. Comment of the night. Amelia Bedelia Ranch. Slow, Amelia. If you build it, they will come.
beautiful, Amelia.
Wait a moment. How can she prove that she slept with 2,000 men though?
They've
They're
got the
filming
Guinness-
it.
Yeah,
They're going to
Guinness-
film it.
Filming
but the
it for
Guinness-
OnlyFans.
Yeah, the Book of Records will be there as well.
Are they going to have tickets or something like that? It's like next, please, next. You know what I mean? It's just-
I'm not sure that's mathematically possible, honestly.
I pity the
Medically
poor-
impossible. That's what I'll be thinking about.
Can you imagine being number 2,000 in the queue, sloppy second thousandths?
Well, you got the sloppy part right.
Ugh. Ugh.
Is there a oh, and finally, so there's no one else in the bin.
And finally.
Oh,
Hooters.
now we're talking my subject.
Breaking Hooters has filed for bankruptcy.
Oh no way!
Rest in peace, Hooters. I knew there was a reason for that thumbnail today.
Why? Are they not making enough money?
Obviously not.
That
Yeah.
was on April the 1st, though. So is this an April Fool's joke?
It's genuine.
No,
it's
they're
genuine.
genuinely going under. I mean, come on, it's over bloated chain with not very good food.
No, that's true.
So
Don't
Yeah,
go
but-
to the food.
Man, do I have some memories.
So do
no
I.
memories in my case.
I
Apparently,
guess
they are not going to disappear. They're restructuring and doing
Yeah.
kind of monetary things behind the scene.
I actually, I don't want to sound like I'm flexing, but in my 20s, I dated one of the women off the Hooters calendar.
Damn.
wow. Cool.
And did she live up to the reputation?
Well, I mean, we were both kind of drinkers, so the memories
Oh,
are
so that's
fuzzy.
the headline then. Okay.
Well, oh, by the way, that's 43.2 seconds per man, provided
Yeah.
there are no breaks.
Yeah, you have to have 43 seconds apiece for each man for 2,000.
Wow.
Wow, I could come twice.
12 times for me. Okay. So that's Hooters, folks. Apparently it's not disappearing, but we shall see. Okay.
In Japan, Mr. Bond, men come first and women come second. You
dear.
only live twice. Well, you only come twice, actually, in this case.
Great movie that
Yes.
is. I do believe we've got Hooters in the UK as well. I've got
We
is it
do. Very
Liverpool,
far
is
in
it?
between.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
out of London, that's for sure.
Okay.
Nottingham has one, I believe.
Yeah.
Musings. I mean,
What is it?
Musings.
Musings, there's Tom there. Okay.
Musings with Tom Hardy.
That is it, folks. Thank you for the interaction, the super chats, and keeping us on our toes, folks. Great numbers this evening. So, chat, you are the best. I don't say this all that often, but we are nothing without you guys. So,
You're the best around.
Around.
Thank you, chat.
here you go, folks. Hooters in England, Munters. Yes. Okay. That is it, folks.
That's an English joke.
It is. Chat, we will see you next time. I will thank the guest. Price of Reason. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Mega Geek. Cheers, Ian.
No worries, guys.
It's the Phobos. Great to have you on, mate.
Thank you so much. This kills my plans for opening up a male version called Peckers with a woodpecker, but I'll live. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, chat.
Professor R2. Cheers, Prof.
Cheers.
And first time on the channel, and fucking has been awesome. Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Nano.
Shazbat. Thank you, my friend.
You're very welcome. I'll see you again.
You will, definitely. That is it, folks. Are we plugging anything, Hot Dog? Plugging?
Just 3 quick things. So
Yeah, go
I'm
on.
meeting a big time YouTuber on Tuesday to gift him some things for his channel. And I'm working on 2 videos to do with GTA 6 and Mind's Eye, a new video game coming out, some more in-depth stuff, and hopefully some new, brand new film trailers that drop. So I've got one at the moment for Tron Ares, which I waxed lyrically about. So watch it after the show. And if I were you and if you were me, I'll see you on the next live stream.
Thank you, my friend. Price, sorry, Prof, you and Price, yeah?
Yes. Me and Price of Reason doing the Night Owl on Tuesday and Thursday evenings, or super early in the morning if you're over there in
Early
Britain.
for me.
But yeah, we'll see you there.
Okay. Wayfarer's doing his gig straight after. It's going to do auto directs.
Auto direct.
Please consider donating Jacob Ironsides. Go for me. That is it, folks. If we don't see you during the week, have a great week, everybody. Tell you bye.
Take it easy.